And I'm not going to lie, that's become my anthem. Shit gives me goosebumps and gets me ready to rock. Week 5, week 6, week 7. I would be a little bit sad that college football is just rolling right by. If it wasn't for the fact that if you've been tuning into Pub Sports Radio right here on the Tailgate, we've been dominating this season. Every guest I've been bringing on has been rocking it, killing it. You guys in the chat have been killing it. Hey, shout out to the Don, Jeff Slaughter. There is no Pub Sports Radio without him, so I want to tip my cap to him at the top. Shout out to you guys in the chat, man, rolling in. Mally, Rebecca Evans, everybody out there. Our guy Justin. I don't see Stacks at the top today because he's going to be joining us right here on the Tailgate to drop Stacks for you guys live. But, I mean, we're here, week 7, and I could sit here and pat ourselves on the back and talk about how good we've been, but we don't got time for that, and that don't matter anymore. What matters now is how we're going to get paid today, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So I'm going to stop wasting y'all's time. I'm going to get my guys right up here on the show. I start every show by bringing these guys up, and then we bring in the Guns, who comes in just absolutely firing, 7-2 on his last 3 shows. Been killing it for you guys. But without further ado, let me go ahead and bring my guy up right here. I know he's a little sad about yesterday, but he'll get over it because he's going to help make us some money here today on College Football Saturday. My guy right here, Moose Money Bets. What up, Moose?
Yo, what's going on, Cab? Yeah, hey, last week's last week. Yesterday was yesterday. Today's today, and let's get paid.
That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about. And at least you only lost as a fan. You probably didn't lose money on the Padres like me. So
no, but I think it hurts just as much, if not quite a bit more. As a lifelong diehard, that was a nice little double kick right to the groin. So, but hey, yesterday was yesterday. Today is today.
I'll leave it. I was going to say, if I'm being honest, I'm quick to turn on teams. They lose my money as fuck you to them for me. But, everybody rolling in, man. Brothers and Bets in the chat. Shout out to my guy, Marley, man. He'll be rocking with us today. I'm excited about that. We've got one hell of a crew that's going to bring you guys best bets today. Today's show is loaded, so that's why I'm not spending much time on the formalities. Nunya, Clark's Edge. There's Justin right there dropping the stacks. Justin, let me put this link just right here in this chat for you. It's easy. And this ain't just for Justin, man. If somebody else wants to click that link right there at the end of the show, if you want to come on and give out a best bet with us, we'd love to have you. It's right there in the chat. Before I bring my next dude on, do me a favor. Go to Pub Sports Radio on X, hit the retweet button, share this, send it out, send it to your pops, send it to your grandma, your drug dealer, somebody who owes you money, as Dutch likes to say, because we're going to get you paid today, and we're going to pay that money back. But I need you guys to share it. Tony Cobbs, good to see you. Anyways, yeah, you got it, Moose?
Retweeting it right now, doing what you tell me.
Yeah, you the man. You the man. I appreciate you. But let me bring this next guy on right here. Already starting off week 7 with a bang. I know he went out there and killed it yesterday on the gridiron. He's been absolutely dominating here with us on the Tailgate. And there's no reason today is going to be any different. Shout out to my dude, Wine Time Sports. What up, Wine Time?
What up, my guys? Daby Cab, Moose, Guns behind the scenes, Jose behind the scenes. Good to be here with you guys on a Saturday, man. It's crazy. It's week 7, man. We're here though. We're gonna give you guys some winners as usual. I know last Saturday was a losing weekend for me, but we're gonna come back firing today. We had a nice little 2-0 day yesterday to start. So let's get this cash today, boys. Let's go.
Yeah, you said it 2-0 yesterday, and you've been dominating throughout the season. So one losing weekend, no big deal. We keep it rolling. Kingo, good to see you in the chat, man. Barry, good to see you. Drewski, everybody, man. Let's get this thing rolling. Start dropping your best bets because I like to keep you guys' best bets in the chat. But we're already 5 minutes in, and I feel like I'm wasting time. This dude has been coming up here, leading off let me stop with those. Let me stop with those analogies. He's been leading off the show for us, absolutely just dominating and killing it. And like I said, 3-0 3 weeks ago, 2-1 last week, 2-1 last week. That's going to give you 7-2 over the last 3 weeks, bringing you guys money. He's got 3 more best bets for you guys today. My dude, Guns Picks.
Yeah, college football was here, baby. I'm on an absolute tear this week. I'm 7-1 in week 7 alone, and that's talking the Tuesday, the Wednesday, the Thursday, the Friday games. I am absolutely cooking with absolute napalm right now, and I'm going to continue to cook today on the show. 7-2. Gonna make it 10-2. Let's do it.
That's what I like to hear. Gonna make it 10-2 for sure. Not even one L today is what Gun said, man.
No.
Guns, and I tell you what, I looked at you sent me some of where I don't have them right in front of me, but you sent me your best bets for the day that you wanted to talk about.
Yes, sir.
And 2 of them are in the early games, which I like because all my action is at 2:30 and later. So I might have to join you on some of these early games. Georgia Tech UNC was one of them, right?
No.
No.
I mean, I technically yes, I'm on that game, but I came to talk about some other games on the board. I want to talk about Wisconsin and Rutgers coming up here in Shai Stadium, Piscataway, New Jersey. Very difficult situation out there in Soprano land. We got Wisconsin coming off a 52-6 win over Purdue. Purdue is absolutely abysmal. Plus 373 net yard average for the game, 3-2 on the year, plus 70 net yard average, and plus 5-point differential on the season. They're going against a Rutgers team that's coming off their first loss to Nebraska, 14-7, plus 3 net yard average and -2 turnover ratio for that game. But they are a plus 61 net yard average and plus 13-point differential. Now, when we look at Wisconsin, are their wins really impressive? I don't think so. They beat Western Michigan, who's ranked 115th in the power rankings. They got South Dakota, granted, good FCS school, but an FCS school nonetheless. And of course, Purdue last week, but Purdue is bad. They're ranked 78th in the power rankings. Now, Wisconsin's losses, let's look at those. Alabama, USC, they lose those games by an average of 24.5 points per game, -50 net yard average in those 2 losses. And what does Rutgers like to do? Pound the rock. They are a run-first offense. They average 5 yards per carry overall, 6.5 yards per carry at home this season. And then you have a Wisconsin team that gives up a lot of yards in the ground game, 4.4 yards per carry given up this season. They're ranked 77th against the run in terms of defensive rush yards per carry. And these 2 teams met last season at Camp Randall. Rutgers almost beat them. 24-13 was the outcome. They were 12.5-point road dogs in that situation. Now you're seeing Rutgers as the favorite. That's a significant line swing from 2023 to now. So I like this Rutgers team. Also, Rutgers 10-2 ATS as a home favorite since 2021. This is a perfect spot here. All boxes checked. You have the revenge angle. You have the line shift from game A to game B. You have a good running offense versus a bad rushing defense. Rutgers all day, baby. Give it to me on the money line, -130 as the first play.
I can't hate on that at all, Guns. I mean, I've been down on this Wisconsin team also. I want to let Moose and Wine Time, give a quick thought on this, guys. We're gonna keep today moving because today's loaded. Like I said, we already got our guy Marley backstage. We got our guy Stacks backstage. We got some of the best cappers in college football, starting with my guy Guns, lined up just ready to fire away for you guys. So we're gonna keep it rolling today. But Gorjon, my dude, dropping $2 donos. Man, I see you always dropping these donos, man. We really appreciate it. That shit adds up a ton. I appreciate you. I saw you said 0-3 yesterday. It's over. I didn't win yesterday either. It's all good. We're going to win today. He did put Colorado money line, Washington money line, BYU, Ohio State money line. So he's got a large parlay there. And speaking of large parlays, one other person I got to hit here. Shout out to my guy Nutflush, man. Love Nutflush, man. He got me betting team totals in MLB, years back, and it's been making me money since then. He said Georgia Tech team total over, Illinois team total over, Pitt team total over, and Colorado full game over 55. Parlayed for plus 962. Taking a shot there. Wine Time, anything on this game? Like I said, if you're not betting it, guys, just kind of, let people know. And we'll
I'll give something a little quick on it. I love everything that Gunn said, honestly. I mean, I've been backing this Rutgers team all year. They've been making this cash at home. The team that's flying under the radar. We talked a little bit about it backstage. After if they get this win here, I do think they're going to be in the rankings. They should be a ranked team already. This is a good team. Dark horse in the Big Ten right now. They don't have the hardest schedule either going forward. But I am on the under in this, guys. Give me the best number available, under 44. Guns talked on it. I think Rutgers is going to run the ball and at a very high rate in this game, as they should with Kyle Monungai. Wisconsin's going to probably run the ball too. Their backup quarterback played a good game. Played one good game, give or take against the competition. But I think this is a pretty good Rutgers defense still, especially in the red zone. So I think it's going to be hard for Wisconsin to score. Once Rutgers gets up 10-plus points, I think they're going to kind of ease off and take their foot off the gas pedal and play some good defense to close this one out. So give me the under at best available, under 44.
Gotcha. Under best available. I
got a worse number on X2. I gave it out on Monday, I believe, at a 42. So if you want to write that down for me, Cab, that's going to be more realistic because I didn't get this 44.
I'm just going to say that you're on the under here, guys. I don't know if anybody, the first week and second week, I tried writing down the numbers. follow everybody right here on X. If you don't follow Guns, if you don't follow Moose, if you don't follow Wine Time, I'm sorry. Sometimes the numbers are better. Sometimes they're worse. College football moves more than anything else. And we're giving out bets constantly throughout the week. So when we're here on the show, I'm just going to say it's ATS. It's on the spread. It's over. It's under. We'll let you guys know where we're at. Okay. That makes it a little easier. Shout out to our guy, Gorgon. He said only BYU Ohio State is parlayed. So the other two were just by themselves on the money line. My bad for missing that. Good to see Jay Peasy in here. My dude who absolutely, we always say on the intros, Jay Peasy makes good music, man. Like he just flat out makes good music. Good
Shout out
intros.
to my guy, Jay Peasy.
Yeah, but shout out to our guy, Jay Peasy. Moose, you involved in this game?
I am. Guns did a fantastic breakdown, got us all the way down to the goal line. So let me punch this right in here. Speaking of red zone, Wisconsin has given up scores on 100% of the red zone opportunities for offensive opportunities. There have only been 12, but 7 touchdowns, and then you've had 5 field goals. Wisconsin has not done well to prevent big plays. They have ranked 74th in the nation in points off of Eckel. They rank 99th in the nation in their Eckel rate. What is something that that was flipped on that. Their offense has been like that, and their defense, the same type of thing. 109th in the country in points off of Eckel, and 68th in the country in preventing big plays inside of the 40. Rutgers has been phenomenal in both of those fields on both sides of the ball. And when you're talking about Kyle Monangai, who's just been one of the absolute forces in college football, I think that this is going to be a team that Rutgers is going to be able to methodically move down the field. When they get inside of the red zone, they're going to be able to do essentially what they want to do. And when you look at the expected play per attempt on a rush, Wisconsin, 81st in the nation. And that is something that if you're going up against a rushing team that has the big boys up front, if you want to see some big guys, go ahead and look at that Rutgers offensive line, especially on the tackle position. I think this is a Rutgers spot. I think this line is probably inappropriately lined. I would have this more at a 6.5. I took a 2.5 on this. So Rutgers minus 2.5.
Okay. So we got some Rutgers love. Wine Time's on the under. Jay Peasy said he got 5 on it. Man, I tell you what, Jay Peasy, I shouldn't have been sharing that bud that you sent me with my homies like Dutch and them, because then they're all like, oh, Jay Peasy, why aren't you send it to me? Why aren't you sending me some bud? Man, I missed that French laundry you sent me. Jay Peasy sent me a weed strain called French Laundry. Bon appetit. Very good. It was very good. But I like it. We got Rutgers for Guns on the money line. We got Rutgers ATS for Moose, and we got the under. Guys, I've already said it. We got 2 great cappers in the wings, so we got to keep it rolling right here. Shout out to the members in the chat. Shout out to the donations. Seriously, you keep the channel rolling. We don't have it without you, so thank you. If we've been making you money here, right? If you've been tailing Guns 7-2, if Moose, some of these beautiful props that have cashed in the first half he's brought, or Wine Time, 60% on the season. If we've been making you money, show some love. Give back. What goes around comes around. Good karma type thing. Guns, where's the next place you want me to take us?
Yeah, let's go. A little bit of Champaign, Illinois. Purdue versus Illinois Memorial Stadium. 3:30 is the kick. You have an Illinois team that is cooking right now. 4-1 on the year with a plus 13-point differential, plus 37 net yard average, coming off a bye week after their loss to Penn State. Now you have Purdue on the other side, 1-4 on the year with their only win versus an FCS opponent in Indiana State. They're minus 130 net yard average, minus 18-point differential for the year. Now, those stats are a little bit misleading because of that first win of the year. You throw out the FCS game, Purdue is minus 274 net yard average, minus 35-point differential. And when we look at the split in the first half versus FBS opponents, Purdue has been outscored 80-13, trailing by an average of 16.8 points per game in the first half. And then Illinois on the other side has outscored their opponents 57-16 at home in the first half. And they stayed with Penn State in the first half. If you remember that game was tied after the half, 7-7. And I think Penn State is a very good team. And then you got to look at the line weight in the first half. 55 to 60% of the line, of the full game line, is weighted in the first half, depending on what book you get it at, of course. And then you have the revenge angle for the Illini, because Purdue beat them up last year, 44-19, where the line was a pick'em. Now you're seeing the line sitting here at 22 and a half, 23. That is a favorable line that tells you this is an Illini spot. But I'm going to take it in the first half because I love the weight of the first half in this one. Give me ILL I minus 13.5 first half as the second play.
There we go. Shout out to our guy Saturated in the chat. He's our big Illinois guy, man. I know he's loving this season, man. The Fighting Illini they've been bringing it. What are you guys looking at here, Moose? Did you bet anything on this one?
No, I did not. But I mean, I can give you a little bit of information, some really deep dive on Purdue. So here's my deep dive on Purdue. They're awful.
Yeah,
It's
I
one
felt
word.
that one coming. What? Yeah.
I'm going to touch on this game a little bit too, because this is actually a game I moved on yesterday, and I texted Jimmy the bag. I told him to get in on it with me, take a look at it. It actually moved this morning. I got in at 49 last night. It's down to 47.5 right now. I got the under 49 minus 115 in this spot. I think it's going to be hard for Purdue to score. Illinois' defense has been showing up to play. I think Illinois is going to be able to cover the spread. I just don't know if Purdue's going to be able to do their part on their end. This is going to be a hostile environment in Illinois for Purdue. And Moose touched on it. Purdue's awful. This is the worst team in the Big Ten. They're probably the only team that's worse than UCLA right now in the Big Ten. And, that's saying something. So that being said, I like the breakdown from Guns on it, but I'm on the under in this spot. I don't think they're going to even be able to touch 40 in this.
Hell yeah. Well, we hit that one there. We're keeping it rolling today, guys, faster than ever. So I love the breakdown. I love the looks. We got an under. We got we got Illinois first half ATS. With the spread like this, sometimes I like that first half because you don't want like a UNLV situation where you get backdoor covered, for no reason. So first half, you seem to have the foot on the gas with the spread like this.
Yeah, Illinois got a big game next week too, so there could be a look ahead. You get up in the first half, and they could pump the brakes and just take the second half off. That's what I'm a little bit worried about here. So first half for me, they come out smoking, and then I cash my ticket and I walk away.
There you go. Brothers and Bets, our guy Marley said he's on first half also. MMA Locker Room, good to see you in here. JT, man, good to see you. Got to get you up here again, JT. I loved capping with you on camera last week. It was good times. Guns, where's the last one? Where's your last best bet?
Let's get in the nitty gritty. Let's go into the crumbs. Let's go to the Sun Belt, shall we? Arkansas State's playing Texas State in Bobcat Stadium in San Marcos, Texas, out in Daby Land. 7 p.m. is the kick. And we have a Texas State team that is 3-2 on the year with a plus 13 point differential, plus 116 net yard average. And you have an Arkansas State team that is 3-2 as well. However, minus 9 point differential, minus 89 net yard average. And Texas State has an explosive offense with Jordan McLeod running under center, putting up 455 yards of total offense, 4.6 yards per carry on the ground, 286 passing yards per game. And their offensive line has been impressive, only giving up 5 sacks all season with a 2.8 sack rate given up to opponents. And then you have an Arkansas State defense that has given up over 400 yards of total offense to their opponents on average, 5.8 yards per carry on the ground, 215 passing yards per game. And then an Arkansas State offense that's abysmal, only averaging 317 yards of total offense versus FBS opponents, 2.7 yards per carry on the ground. But they do pass very well with a 259 yards per game passing average. And then Texas State has done well, though, against the pass. Their pass defense has held opponents to 53.3% pass completion rate, and they get to the quarterback very well, putting pressure on them, 11.5% sack rate. This is a better Texas State defense this year than it was in 2023. And what I like the most about this game, it is a super mega double dong fucking revenge game here. Arizona beat the absolute snot out of them 77-31 last year, where Texas State was 3.5 point favorites. Now you're seeing them favored here 13.5, 14.5. Now you look at the box score of that game and you're asking yourself, how is that possible to lose to a team like that? I can tell you why. Arkansas State had a fumble return for a touchdown, a 93-yard kickoff return, 2 touchdowns that were returned for 2 INTs that were returned for touchdowns. And then Texas State fumbled on their own 15, which resulted in a touchdown for Arkansas State. 35 points that were basically non-offensive points in that game. Unbelievable type of scenario when you check the box score. So you have the misleading box score. You have the revenge angle. You have the line shift from game A to game B. I love Texas State through the year. I have future tickets on them to win the Sun Belt. I'm going to continue smashing this team. Texas State minus 13.5. Full game is the play.
Shout out to Texas State. San Marcos right there. I tell you what, you want to get in some trouble, get you a cooler full of beer and go float the river in San Marcos. It's one hell of a time. You're missing out if you haven't done it. I personally got nothing on this game. Obviously, this isn't, I don't usually roll around in the mud, but I know our guy Guns kills it with these games. Wine time, anything here?
No, nothing for me in this spot, guys.
Nothing. Moose, you?
I mean, the only things I will say is the numbers for Arkansas State are absolutely skewed by Michigan and Iowa State. More so the Iowa State game than the Michigan game. I mean, against Michigan, Arkansas State was in that game. I mean, it was only an 18-28 game at the Big House. The question I have is on the road, how successful can they be? Shocked last week that South Alabama was held down to only 16 points. And Texas State, I mean, you can say what you want about the difference in the kind of the offensive philosophies and what you see from their potential big plays. But I was a little surprised last week, and I absolutely believe that Guns is tacking the right side here. But it was weird. I mean, it was something I didn't expect. I lost the bet, but that was kind of one of those, I might not want to attack Arkansas State the way I thought I could attack them. So just kind of wanted to point that out. I have nothing in the game.
Gotcha. Man, Guns, 7-2 the last 3 weeks. Been killing it the whole year. I know I just hit those last 3 weeks because 7-2 is beautiful, but killing it the whole year, man. You bring the heat, you bring the energy. You're exactly how I wanted to start this show this year, and you've been just killing it. Thank you. We can't thank you enough. Chat, make sure you let Guns know how much we appreciate what he's been doing. Follow him on X. Go to his YouTube channel. Guns, I'll let you plug it because you can probably plug it better than me.
All right, so I have a channel called the Guns Picks channel. We put out a lot of content. We put out the college football show, Shark on the Gun, last night, and we're going to have the Sunday show for the NFL coming out at midnight tonight, where it's a pre-record because I can't be there. I'm going to a wedding, so that's going to be out as well. And of course, I'm going to do Saturday mornings with Gun Picks on the Guns Picks channel. And also, I just want to promote this. I have a new channel. It's called Top Tier Handicapping Network. Go check that out. We do the college football playbook on Tuesdays. I need some support, need some likes, need some subscribes. We've been killing it on that one as well. That show is I think I'm 13-4 on that show right now. So college football is my bag, and I will continue cashing tickets. Daby, Moose, Wine Time, always a pleasure. Let's cash some tickets. Let's dominate the board. And as always, let's keep dancing. Boom!
Hell yeah, man. Great energy to start the show. Look, go check out the channels he said, Top Tier Handicap Network, and then also Guns Picks on X. Go follow him. Guys, this is not a competition, right? Wine Time goes over there, with our guys, Who Bangin' Sports. Marley comes on. Marley's got brothers. This is not a competition, guys. This is let's all get together. Let's put our knowledge together and let's win some fucking money, okay? A lot of people act like it's a competition between channels and stuff like that. It's not, man. We're all family here. It's not hard to go hit the like button and go support each other. I was in with Ramon before this show. I'm going to hit DJ Big Boss and Wine Time, after this show. It's not hard. Show some love. Like I said, karma's real. Give, it comes back. But let's keep this shit rolling, man. I'm really excited to bring this next guy on with us. And we got to keep it moving because Wine Time, make sure I don't get too far for you also, Wine Time. Let me know when
we're good.
We're good.
I haven't got a text back from Boss yet, so.
Well, I kind of touched on this guy a couple times already. This is one of the first people I met at Pubapalooza 1. Became a good friend of mine. Been a friend since then. And one of my favorite people to cap with. I hate the fact we haven't got the cap yet this year, but we're about to remedy that right now. Bringing him on, my dude, Marley Betts. What up, Marley?
Hey, what's the deal? What's going on? Bruce, what up, Bruce?
Yo, what's up, Marley?
Just saying it, man. I'm excited to finally cap some college football with you, man. You're one of my favorite people to cap college football with. It's been too long.
Yeah, right back at you, man. It sucks because I coach Little League, so our games are always on Saturday. So that's why, I shouldn't have wore this shirt. It's fucking blended in with the green. But anyway, yeah, man. So I'm always at the field on Saturday, but we got a bye week. So I said, look, let me hit Cab up and see what's going on.
Hell yeah. Get one bye week and you show up, man. That's real love. I appreciate that, man. Well, I know you've probably seen Marley, but we kind of, and you get it because you sent me best bets already, but we kind of just hit the games that we're betting here on this show instead of wasting time talking about the ones that we're not for everybody else. And I know you sent me yours, but I'm going to still ask, where's the first place you want to take us? What's the first game you want to look at today?
So I'm like you, man. I heard you say earlier about I don't have a lot of action early. I put in the chat. I'm with Guns on that Illinois first half. But
Okay.
let's talk about where we're at, Cab. Let's talk about the Red River Shootout. I still call it the Shootout. I know they changed the name.
Did they really? I didn't even know they changed the name.
Yeah, it's like the Red River rivalry or some
what it
kind of
is.
shit like that. Fuck that shit. We're from Texas, man. This the Red River Shootout. It's basically Texas versus Texas. Oklahoma tends to steal a lot of our players.
Tell them, Marley.
You know, it's really Texas. It's really like South Texas versus North Texas is really what this game is all about. Most of these kids play together in high school. We talked about this last Thursday, Cap, on Jimmy's show. About this game.
Yep.
Man, if y'all don't know, you know, here this is our Ohio State, Michigan. You know what I mean? This is
Alabama, Georgia for us.
Right. This is Alabama, Georgia basketball. This is Duke versus Carolina. Like, this is the game. If you're not here, you probably don't get it. And for Texas to be a 14, I think it actually went up, Cab. You might want to double check. I think it went up to 16. For Texas to be a 16, or we'll just say 14 and a half, 15 and a half point favorite is insane. For this specific game. I know Texas is number one team in the country. But you gotta remember Quinn Ewers has been hurt, right? He's just coming back. I think it's going to take some time to adjust to the game speed just a little bit. But you can throw I'm not gonna give a bunch of stats and shit, because basically, like me and you said Thursday, all that shit goes out the window. I've seen when Oklahoma is ranked number 1, 2, or 3, and Texas is in the teens, and this game is still close. Texas is upset Oklahoma is upset Texas. Way too many points to be putting on this type of rivalry game. So, and Oklahoma's defense has been pretty good. It hasn't been great. It hasn't been what Texas has been, but it has been pretty good. And over the last 10 games, Oklahoma is actually 7-3 versus Texas in these last 10 games. Only 4-6 ATS, but still 7-3 over the last 10. I was talking about that defense. I'm trying to find the rankings real quick.
Oklahoma's defense can play, man. We saw that against Tennessee, right? Like, and for everybody,
right, exactly.
The game wasn't close. You didn't watch the same game as I watched because it went on for like 7 hours. 1 and 2. Oklahoma had the ball with the chance to go down and cover. No, they didn't have a chance to win, but they could have covered. And as somebody who bet Tennessee, that's all I give a shit about, right? And that's all any of us as gamblers should care about.
Right. So, with that being said, I'm on Oklahoma plus the points. Just way too many points. I don't think they will win the game, but I do give them a chance just because it's the Red River Shootout, man. It's going to be split down the middle, burnt orange and whatever that burgundy color is called on the Oklahoma side of things. And crowd's going to be fucking jumping. It's going to be a raucous environment. And I just think it's way too many points. I also lean over, because I think one or two things is going to happen. I mean, both these defenses have been playing great, but like I said, throw all that shit out the window. I think for us to get a 48 and a half is kind of low, because I think Texas averages 47 points a game. I mean, yeah, Oklahoma will slow them down, but I don't think they're going to hold them under 20. I think they're going to at least their 20, 25 points.
So lean towards the over, but you got your money on Oklahoma?
Money is on Oklahoma plus 15 and a half. I'm leaning over. I haven't got to the window, but the window has already been bet with the 15 and a half.
Gotcha. Well, I tell you what, man, this is with Texas, this could be kind of like we saw with Utah last night. And why did I just blank on Dickhead's name that's been questionable every game of the
Cam
year? Cam Rising. Yeah, we saw Cam Rising, right? Was not comfortable when he first stepped back in the game. Shout out Wine. I know you like that Wine Time because you kind of touched on that yesterday.
Him getting hit on the third play of the game and him rolling his ankle helped a lot too.
Yeah.
He couldn't step into any of his throws. That was huge.
Huge. That was huge. I was on Arizona State last night. I wanted to take the money line, but I got scared.
Yeah, I sprinkled the money line. I had the points. I was on the under. I thought the under was going to be cooked for a second, but luckily I was able to get both of those.
The reason I hit that, though, is just because I'm saying Ewers might be the same way, right? Might be a little uncomfortable early. Oklahoma's defense is going to dial up some blitzes. They're going to have the line moving, shifting. Moose, what about you? You bet this game?
I did not, but I mean, I don't think Ewers is going to have, excuse me, I don't think Ewers is going to have any issues back there. I mean, Archie Manning looked like Archie Manning was expected to look like. And if they're going back to Ewers, all I'm expecting is that he's looked really, really good in their practices. The interesting thing here is the Oklahoma defense has not really been the issue. It's been the Oklahoma offense. That has been the bigger problem. Michael Hawkins, at the beginning of last week, I was worried about him going to Auburn into his first SEC environment and how that would affect him. And he looked a little shaky early, looked like he started to kind of get his bearings, but he was definitely pulling down and running a little bit more than you'd probably want a guy to do so. The issue here is going to be what Oklahoma puts out on the field with their wide receivers. Nick Anderson is probable, but he's been, even when he's listed as probable or a full go, he is in and out of that lineup. And you have Petaway, who's already been questionable with the knee, and you've also lost quite a few other receivers. So how is Oklahoma going to attack Texas? And I mean, there's not a lot of places to attack Texas. And the way you'd probably want to attack them is through play action. But if you're not going to be able to establish the vertical threat of the play action, I think they're going to start loading the box. And I mean, I know you said the over is kind of what you're looking at there, or where you would go. I think the under, because if it's Oklahoma defense, which has looked very good, they are 7th in the country in preventing points off of big plays. They are 5th in the country in preventing plays get inside of the 40. So I would lean to the under here, but it's a tough call because, I mean, this was one of those games that you just blindly bet the over. Like every single year, it was like, I don't really give a shit who's playing at quarterback, at wide receiver, on the line. I'm playing the over here. And these are two defenses that I think are very good. Yeah. They can be legit, but the questions on Oklahoma's side would prevented me from jumping on there. That'd be the side I'd look at. But man, I want this to get back to the old school, just back and forth. Every possession matters. And I hope that's what we see here today. I just want a really good game.
So both these teams in this rivalry have been averaging 30 plus points a piece. To touch on what Moose said earlier, in the past, previous to this year, you just blindly bet the over. They're both averaging 30 points a piece. Over the last
and the money here, you have 68% of the cash, 61% of the tickets on Oklahoma, and the line has started to move up towards Texas. That's some weird line movement. I'm not sure what you can make of that, but I definitely think that Oklahoma might be in for a tough time against that Texas defense. But if they can somehow figure out some kind of scheme or schematic to move the ball, they should be in this game. But if that offense continues to look like that offense has looked, this could just be a Texas blowout.
Hey, shout out to our guy WT, man, dropping a $10 dono, man. I keep saying it. We don't have anything without you guys in the chat. The members, the donos, man, you guys keep this channel rocking. So thank you, WT. And I love capping with Jimmy, man. I wouldn't be doing this without him. So shout out Jimmy the Bag, man. Make sure you guys are here tomorrow for the NFL show. He's been absolutely just destroying it. But I got to say one more thing. You guys, shout out to Mally Mal. We got right about 200 people in the chat rocking with us right now. I told you guys I was going to do something for y'all since y'all been tuning out or showing out. So that's what I'm going to do. We just lost Marley. So I'm going to explain this really quick. And then if he's back, we'll bring him in. If not, we'll move on to our guy Stacks. But listen to me right now, okay? Moose, Wine Time, you're going to get this. Everybody in the chat, listen to me. Use your ears so you don't fuck this up, all right? I'm going to give you for sure 2 chances to win money, maybe 3 chances to win money. All you have to do is comment after the show, okay? Do not comment in the live comment section. They're 2 different things. Leave a comment posted below the show. Guess the score of this game. Whoever gets the closest, I'm going to send you $25. And also guess the score of the Ohio State-Oregon game. Whoever gets the closest, I'm going to send you $25. I didn't say whoever gets it right. I said who gets the closest, right? If multiple people get it right, we'll figure it out. Maybe I'll send you both 25. But there you go. There's 2 opportunities because I appreciate the hell out of you guys. Don't drop it in the live chat. After the show, guess the score of the Texas-Oklahoma game. Guess the score of the Ohio State-Oregon game. Drop it in the chat. Whoever gets the closest, I'm going to send you money. So shout out to you guys. I appreciate you. Share this show. Let's keep this shit rocking. Let's get up to 250, and I'll do something more next week for you guys because I appreciate the hell out of y'all. Hey, I tell you what, Wine time. I want to hear your thoughts on this game. And then if Marley's not back, we'll go to Justin, then get Marley back up here when he gets back. What'd you think on this one?
Yeah, tough spot. I got nothing in this one. I definitely had a lean towards Texas just because I think the spread is going up for a reason. Moose already touched on about it too with the market. Looks a little funky there. I can only go Texas because I don't know if Oklahoma is really going to be able to score probably more than 10 points in this one. Their offense doesn't look good. Their defense has looked pretty good this year, but this Texas offense is explosive. And yeah, Quentin Ewers has missed the last couple of weeks, but I don't think he's going to miss a beat, honestly. He's in shape still. He's going to be ready to go. So yeah, I could only lean Texas in this spot, but nothing for me. I'm going to stay away from this one. Great breakdown by both cappers, though.
Beautiful. Well, man, you guys know this guy because about to intro him. Let's keep rocking with our guy Marley here because I know he's got 2 more best bets. But we're going to keep it moving and keep it rolling because we got a lot of action to get to, and we're already 36 minutes in. Marley, what's the next one you wanted to look at?
I don't know what the hell happened on that, but yeah, I'm on BYU.
BYU.
That's the next game I'm on.
Boy, I tell you what, this BYU game I want to bet them too, even with the line movement. I don't even care like that it's moved so much, but I'm excited to hear what you guys have to say about this one.
What is it at right now? What did the line move to?
Well, BYU was an underdog, if I'm not mistaken, when the line came out.
They were +2, and then they got all the way up to 4.5, and I believe it's one down to -3.
They're -3, -110 right now.
Yeah. I'm all over BYU. I'm a little concerned because this is kind of that point of the season where BYU sometimes tends to like fall off like midway of the season. It feels like the last 3 seasons they kind of started out hot and then kind of tailed ended toward the end of the season. However, I don't think this is the spot. At home, if you look at their schedule, man, they play some really good teams, and got some really good wins. They Baylor at Baylor last week, destroyed a really good Kansas State team at home. I don't care about the Wyoming win, but then they shut down that potent SMU offense early in the season, held them to 15 points, and their defense is actually only allowing 15 points while their offense is averaging over 30 points. And I'm just Arizona, the quarterback, Fatita, he just turns the ball over too much for me. He's already thrown 6 interceptions to only 7 touchdowns. His QBR is at 45.6. Just terrible numbers. And that's the thing that they like to do at sling the ball all over the place at Arizona. So I love BYU here, -3. I actually love the first half too. I bet first half and full game here on BYU.
BYU first half full game. I tell you,
one thing I'll say real quick too. When I bet BYU thing, I always bring this up. Like it's grown men on the field because they take the 2 years off and then come back. Those it's grown men going against kids.
Yeah, they take their Mormon retreat and then they come. Yeah, you're right. They come back, and that's why it's like they're never the fastest, but they're always strong, right? Their line is always strong. It seems like they always want to lower their shoulder. I get it, man. I've thought hard about betting BYU here today. I still haven't done it. I've got action, but I might get there with you. Moose, did you bet this one?
I am, and I am with Marley on this one. I am on BYU as well. Arizona has really struggled in has really struggled in creating big offense, which is extremely surprising with Tofita back there and McMillan at wide receiver. 2 guys, Marley, I know you're probably already aware of this. They've played since fucking Pop Warner together. Like these two were like on the same titty. Like these guys have known each other for a long time. And the fact that they're still not able to generate like consistent big plays, they get 1 or 2 a game. One of the bets I had last week that did cash was the McMillan longest yard catch, and it did cash, but it took until like the 4th quarter for that to happen. And BYU has done a very good job on defense in preventing bigger plays, but they've done an even better job in preventing scores off of big plays. Because if you're on defense and you allow that big play to get inside of the 40, sometimes you get on your heels and you start, kind of going like, all right, just, prevent. And before you know it, all of a sudden they're dancing in the end zone. I think BYU, especially with, the fact that they got a very, very good head coach in Sataki, and the fact that they've also been very good in the red zone, and Arizona really has not. In the 19 red zone possessions, they've allowed 11 touchdowns. So I think that BYU is going to be able to do essentially kind of what they want moving the ball. And they've been surprising, but I am going to take a soak on BYU here. So give me BYU. I got a -2.5. If you want to play the -3, I think that's fine. I think the line is still lined up incorrectly. You could probably put this as a touchdown. The one thing I will say, I would love this game to be at night. BYU at night is a special place. That is on my bucket list, especially with all like the beautiful mountains there. You know, anybody that's been there, I'm jealous of you. That's one of my places I really want to go. But during the day, I'll still take it. I'll take the soak. So BYU.
Well, I got some shit last week or 2 weeks ago from the chat, because they're like, oh, that's not really Mormon. I was like, I didn't realize, Mormons could have multiple. I didn't know I was Mormon. I guess I recently found out I was Mormon is what I'm getting at. Well, I got a lot of shit in the chat for that. And I'm like, what? I can't, it's my religion. I'm Mormon. I didn't know they could do that. And now I'm Mormon. So,
I mean, you can soak up until marriage. And then once you're married, man, you can play the field essentially.
Well, hey, I love it. Let's keep this thing rolling because we got our guy Stacks back there waiting. Marley, where's your last? You had 3 best bets you sent me, right?
Yeah. Well, I gave you all the 3 picks.
Oh, we went over. Oh yeah, we did. Oh, because you had got you.
Got 2 on this game, and then we threw in Illinois, but I was just following. I'm Guns had already gave that play.
Right. Were you first half on Illinois also?
Yes. Okay. First half Illinois. First half and full game on BYU and. Oklahoma. Yeah.
Love it, man.
Yes, sir.
Man, I wish we could sit here and chop it up a little bit more like we can on a live stream, because I miss being on screen with you. I miss hanging with you. But we got to keep this thing rolling, man. I appreciate the hell out of you. Brothers and Bets. I'm gonna let Marley say it, but I'm gonna say it first real quick. Go follow Brothers and Bets, man. Check out my guy Coach and Marley. It doesn't get better than that, man. I love you guys' content. I love you guys as people, man. You got any last words for the chat and everyone?
Nah, man, y'all already know what it is. That's Let's Eat Vegas.
Hell yeah, Marley.
Let's go.
Man, hopefully we get to – I know he's got the coaching on Saturdays, but hopefully we get more Marley Bets on screen, man. I can't say it enough. One of my favorite college football cappers. Everything I bring to you guys on this show is strategical. It's to win money. And I think he's going to help us do that right there. But without further ado, man, I have not got a chance to be on screen with this guy yet. I don't think I might have been on a live stream with him, but I haven't been on stream with him for one of my streams. So I'm super pumped about this. You see him in the chat on every show, giving you guys the goods, the stacks, dropping the money. Hold on. Find that. We got to intro our guy the right way.
Let's
bring him in the right way.
Let's
right
go.
here.
Let's go.
Stacks.
Let's go.
I'm in the same boat one time.
Let's go.
Yeah. I'm in the same boat.
Brothers. One time. Moose, Daby, damn. What's up, y'all?
Man, good to be here, man. Happy to be here with you. Just college football Saturdays, man. There's something different for me. I guess basketball's the same way, but when college sports are going, man, Stacks, I'm in my zone. This is my element, baby.
I feel like I caught a blessing, man. I told you, but I'm going to tell everybody. I spent the night in the hospital last night. My loved ones, my kids, and all that was forced me to go to the hospital. Ever since I went to this high school game for my nephew, so I tested positive for COVID. All night I've been dealing with cold sweats. But the good thing is I got 2 grandbabies. I ain't got babysit, no grandbabies, and all I got is sports. I'm fucking loving it. Like, I ain't mad about COVID. I feel miserable, but can't nobody bother me. So, like, I'm loving life right now.
Let's go, Justin.
I laughed when you texted me that because you're like, no, because I was like, damn, bro, I'm sorry, blah, blah. You're like, no, you don't understand. Now I can cap. I can spend all my energy on the sports, man. I love it.
Word, my 2 oldest kids is 24 and 25. They both got a kid, and they want to call me like, can you watch the baby for an hour? And it's never an hour. It's always like 5 hours. And then my son got arrested the other day. Like, it's just a lot of shit going on. But I'm here, like, and I'm be on Pub tomorrow morning. Like, COVID, everybody stay away from me. I love it.
There you go.
Let's go, Justin. It's a blessing to be here with you, my guys. Share the screen with you, man. Always share the chat with you, but this is super cool, man.
I told Daby this morning I'm sick, but I'm still coming.
I was about to say hospital last night, here on the show this morning. It doesn't get any realer than that, man. We appreciate the hell out of you. You got love flowing in from the chat, man. Just real shit. And I'm gonna be honest, I might have to tail these bets since you're still putting it out and coming up here. What's the first game you want to take us? What graphic you want me to throw up?
The first game we're gonna go to Alabama. But I will let you know you're not gonna tell all my bets because I didn't thought about it all night. There's a game y'all not gonna be happy with, but I'm gonna stand in front of y'all. But the first game, Alabama.
Here we go. South Carolina traveling not too far of a distance here, but going into a very hostile environment to take on number 7 Alabama. South Carolina kind of been making money for people for a little bit early in the year, but that's kind of petered off just a bit. What are you looking at here, man?
I follow the SEC very, very tight. I don't have all my notes, but every single play I got it all in my head. Alabama coming off a disappointing loss against Vanderbilt. They was out in the field talking crazy to Pavia, talking about he FCS quarterback, all this other shit. Now, y'all know I'm a Georgia fan. I love to see Alabama lose. I can't wait to see them again. But everybody knows that's the only part that I'm worried about. Everybody knows Bama off a loss at the crib. I know it's not Saban, but I don't even know dude's name. But that Alabama coach, he gonna run this shit up. Stacks play number 1 is Alabama team total over 35.5.
Let's go.
I like that team total 35.
And that's at -110.
-110. So we got Alabama team total over 35.5, -110. Shout out to our guy Nut Flush in there. Every time
and Daby, I feel like you, Daby, and I'm gonna tell y'all, this is not official because the juice. I may or may not have bet irresponsibly on Bet Rivers right now. Alabama first to score 35 -148. I'm not disrespecting nobody who give out those type shit. I get it. It's a win. But I tell you what, I may or may not have bet irresponsibly on Alabama.
First to 35.
First to score 35 -148 on Bet Rivers right now.
Hey,
if anybody could challenge that, anybody. First of all, South Carolina is not going to score 35. Period. Right. They're not going to score 35. So all you need is Alabama coming off a loss at the crib to score 35 first. Yeah. All right, but that's not official, but I just want to give y'all a little gift if y'all don't care about the juice.
Hey, at 148, man, if you're making a large bet, we don't got time to go into that right now, but
large bet.
If it wins, right? And if it's a large bet, that's all that matters. It wins.
Large bet.
So I love it, man. You got anything here? Wine time. Did you bet this one?
I was actually leaning towards the under in this spot. Didn't actually end up taking it. I still might before game time. We'll see. I like the breakdown on it, though, the first to 35. I'm not sure if how South Carolina is going to play in this one. They had a lot of promise the first couple games of the season. I like what the head coach is building over there. They've got a pretty young team, young defensive line that's actually pretty hungry over there. They haven't been playing that good the last couple of games, though, and Bama is coming off a heartbreaking loss. Maybe they hand it to him in this one. I'm going to end up staying away from this one, but a great breakdown by my guy.
Maybe.
Hell yeah. Moose, what you looking at?
I would technically probably lean South Carolina here, but the thing that I would be more interested in would be potentially a prop under with Rocket Sanders. Alabama's rush defense has been outstanding this year. That's part of their defense, that has looked legit. The secondary, not so much, but South Carolina doesn't really pass the ball. The entire offense does seem to flow through Rocket Sanders, and I'm not sure what we're going to see from them. Their run blocking has graded very poorly this year. Even in their wins, their run blocking was still not great. It's essentially just Rocket Sanders making his own space. And I think Alabama is going to try to focus in, key in on him, say, if you are going to beat us, you're going to beat us without that guy, without that large human in the backfield that somehow can run a 4-4, 4-5. He's an NFL type running back. And I think that's going to be their plan of attack. If I was going to play something in here, I didn't bet it. just because you never know, like later in the game, if Alabama does have the lead, if South Carolina wants to say, we're still going to work our running game here, we're still going to run our game plan. But I would be most interested in potentially a Rocket Sanders rushing prop under, but that is not something I'm getting to the window with.
Say our guy Nutflush said he's got books that are not allowing him to bet Bama team total over. So that means that's something the books are not liking, which is a good thing for our guy Stacks right here. Moose, so you'd look at that under for the Sanders. I get it.
Yeah.
I haven't bet this one personally, guys, but I love that first to 35 look. I like the Alabama team total. That's how I would go if I was going to bet this. But we're 50 minutes in now, and we got over 230 people in the chat rocking with us. So shout out to you guys, man. We're getting a high number. Let's get up over 250. I'll do more giveaways. If you didn't hear earlier, all you got to do after the show is over, comment what you think the score of the Oklahoma-Texas game is. Comment what you think the score of the Ohio State-Oregon game is. Whoever gets the closest, I will send $25 to for each one. So make 2 comments or put them both. I don't care, but whoever gets the closest, I'm going to shoot you $25 because I appreciate you guys. You're showing love, so I want to show some love back. Let's keep this thing rolling, Stacks. What's the next one you want to take us to?
You might not even have this graphic. It's going to be Oregon State and Nevada.
I definitely don't have that graphic. While you start introing it, I will make one for us, though. So if you want to tell us what you're looking at in this game, I'll see if I can get it up.
And this is me off the top of my head, but I know because it was high on my board. One, I watch all of y'all all week long. I don't have no job. I don't have none of that shit. I watch Wonton. I respect Wonton. I watch Moose, Dab, all y'all on the screen. If I'm not against y'all, I blind tell y'all. And I don't have a problem with saying that publicly. Like, if I'm not against y'all, I blind tell. That way I don't have to cap. And anybody who don't do that, never mind, I'm not going to say that. But anyway, that's what I do. And look at my record. The boys on the screen, y'all be saving me. Y'all don't be known. Like, I put 2 units on my stacks, and I'm cold as ice right now. If it wasn't for Pub Sports, I'd be on some bullshit right now. But because of that, like, I blind tell like Quan, like the Moose tracks. I've been trying to send him my email. We're having a failure to communicate. Wonton, Cons, he not on the screen yet. I fuck with Cons, the bag. I tell all of his hockey. But anyway, Nevada plus 3.5. Stacks play today. That's number 2.
Let's go.
I did that wrong. My bad. I put Nevada -3. It's +3.
Oh, yeah, no. Nevada plus 3.5 at Bet Rivers right now.
Yeah, they're +3. I got you.
Stacks, if you put in the private chat, the email, I'll put it in right now.
I'll do that as we. I think I can multitask.
I was about to say I can shoot you
Troy
the
Torrance in the chat, giving Stacks a shout out, and he said, "Did we talk Oregon, Ohio State? Not yet, my guy. We'll be talking about that pretty soon, though."
Yeah, we will hit it. We will hit it. We're keeping this thing rolling. We've already, had Guns come in. Stacks has come in now. Marley came in and killed it for us. Our guy Kong is backstage, ready to come in and shoot away. I think Dutch is still popping on with us. And then we got to get to Wine Time. We got to get to Moose. We got to get to me. We got a lot. We got a lot happening. We got a lot to do. So thank you guys in the chat. Shout out Juan Ruiz, Mally Mal, Nunya, Troy. Good to see you in here, Troy. Let's keep this thing rocking. So you got, let me write this down, Nevada +3. You sprinkle their money line or just the points?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So there we go. So Stacks comes in, brings us 2 stacks. We got Alabama team total over 35.5. We got Nevada +3. And technically you gave us 3. You just didn't make one official. You said
kind of like Alabama. I'm not going to make this official, but I will stand on this camera and say Wonton and all of y'all Ole Miss backers, y'all are bugging. I think y'all crazy. I think y'all should look at the trends. The reason I don't bet futures is because I feel like when you bet a future, you get stuck on that team. Wonton, I love you to death. I tell like 90% of your plays. Ole Miss is okay. But I did not tell that Ole Miss that you told Jimmy to bet, and I wish you the luck. And they might win today, but 3.5 in Death Valley, the real Death Valley, not Clemson. at night, the real Death Valley, and I seen a trend. Don't get me wrong, it's like 10-2 or 9-2. LSU coming off a loss of a revenge against Ole Miss last year. Look that shit up. It's either 10-2 or 9-2. Coming off of a revenge loss. Who is going against Death Valley? Y'all screaming this Ole Miss. Who have they played? They lost to Kentucky. Stop it. Kentucky's not it. Yeah, my Bulldogs we struggled against Kentucky. It was a look ahead. Anybody who say Kentucky is serious, stop it. I will stand in front. I'm not going to make it official because I respect y'all hand. But I will tell y'all, be careful with that Ole Miss. I got LSU plus 3.5 in my pocket. And I'm confident in that.
I hear you. I saw some trends with Kelly, when he's got a bye week. I saw some other trends with Kelly off a bye week, off a loss. But I'm going to be honest, when the trends don't fit me, I ignore them. So,
I'm not a trend better either.
Yeah. Oh, well, when they help, my cap, I like to put them out there. When they hurt my cap, I kind of keep them to myself. But I hear it, man. I hear it. I hope you're wrong because I got money on Ole Miss. But
hey, yeah, shout out to you, Justin. I totally, everything you just said makes a lot of sense, honestly, in this spot. The only thing is, I'm just not super high on this LSU team. I'm not high on Brian Kelly this year, honestly. I think he's kind of losing the team a little bit. Their defense, I was expecting to step up a little bit more with the new defensive coordinator coming in from Mizzou, Blake Baker. Ole Miss, though, I mean, you touched on it, man. Who have they really played and who have they really beat? They beat up on the, on the outside of the Power 4 teams. They lost to Kentucky. They had a big win last week, against, I think, was it South Carolina last week, I believe? South Carolina. In a hostile environment. This is my thing, Stacks, is one thing I wasn't super sure on this Ole Miss team was their defense going into the season, and it's actually the real deal this year, man. I mean, they're playing at such an elite level on that side of the football. Jackson Dart, for me, LSU gives up the explosive plays in the passing game, so I think if Dart can get the ball to his playmakers like Trey Harris, we're not sure if Trey Harris is going to play today. I'm pretty sure he is. He's got a guy named Juice Wells over there, too, came over from South Carolina. The guy's a dog. He's an NFL-type receiver. And they've got a lot of weapons. I like the running back over there. It's hard for me. I got the 3.5. I would stay away, honestly. I got in at the -3 for Ole Miss, so that's why I am on it. I couldn't give it out at 3.5, though.
Not to interrupt you one time, just a little pushback. So you're not worried about the way that game ended last year? How LSU went on the road, and they feel like they got jerked. They feel like they got hoed. And we're talking about Death Valley.
I almost want to put the graphic up for this so we can keep going into it.
I totally get your sense. Yeah.
For the life of me, I can't see, and I love y'all to death. A lot of times in the chat, it looks like it's disrespectful. That's why I always put respectfully, because I love this debate. And I don't feel comfortable. That's why I didn't make it official, because I respect y'all hand. But be careful with Ole Miss today.
Listen, if we all got up here and if we all got up here and did kumbaya, and if everybody was up here and agreed on everything, this show would be trash. I'm gonna just tell you guys right now, we're not all supposed to agree on everything. We're supposed to push each other and make each other better, like whether it's here on screen or in the chat. So, like you just said, you can always be respectful when you disagree. You don't call somebody stupid or nothing like that. But guys in the chat, don't think we need everybody to agree here. What makes this fun 100%. Is that we disagree. So
every single trend is 100% on LSU. The home team in this matchup, 10-2 straight up, has won the last 4 meetings and covered 9 of the last 10. LSU is 6-2 straight up, 5-3 ATS since 2016. And Brian Kelly, coming off of a bye, which they were off of a bye after beating South Alabama, is 3-1 at LSU and is 31-11 straight up in the FBS. And the over has also been the trend in this game as well, with an average of 76.6 points per game. So those are all the trends. I mean, Sachs, that's literally, if you're a trend better, this is the LSU side to be on. And I generally try to
we're keeping a terrible pace here, guys. We're already over an hour right now, just so you know.
I am not a trend better.
Yeah. And there are guys in the chat that they are a trend better, and the trends here absolutely point to LSU, and trend bettors can have success. I looked at the quarterback position, Jackson Dart over Nussmeier, and that was kind of what pushed me towards Ole Miss. Because at the end of the day, if you're talking about the last drive of the game, I'm going to want Jackson Dart with the quarterback.
Stacks, I want to go into this even more with you, my guy. I do. But like I was just saying, we're over an hour right now on this show. We got Kongs in the wings. I got my guy Dutch. I do hope you're wrong.
I got 5 minutes too, just so you know, Cab.
Wine Time only has 5 minutes.
Boss just hit me up. He just hit me up and said, "Yeah, we're ready to go." And I was like, "Oh, damn, okay, I'll be right there."
Said we're ready to go. Well, hey, I tell you what, Stacks, I'm gonna let you, get out of here. Plug anything you want to plug. Give some last words to chat. Then Wine Time, you want to just rapid fire your bets, and then I'll bring Kong up.
No worries. I got it. All my breakdowns are posted on Pub Sports Radio for these games, guys.
Yeah, there you go. Stacks, man, we love you. We love what you bring to the channel. We love what you bring to the chat. I hope you start feeling better, man. You got any last words for everybody?
No, I ain't got no social media. I'm on Pub Sports.
That's what I like to hear, man.
Shout out to you, Justin. Pleasure being on screen with you, my guy. I hope you're feeling better. I hope you cash those bets today, my guy.
Hey, if you put your email in the private chat, I'll add in. I thought I added in, but if I didn't, I will add it in if you put it in the private chat.
I'll do that now.
I'll text it to him, Stacks. I got you, bro. Okay, Shout out to our guy, Stacks, man. Justin, dude, he brings so much. You guys in the chat bring so much, and he's just a perfect example of what you guys bring to this channel. It's he's just like me. I started in the chat, then came on screen with you guys. It doesn't get better than this, man. Wine Time. I know I'm talking too much again. Rapid fire for us real quick.
We're on Iowa, guys, in the early slate in these games. I think they're going to be better in the trenches in this spot. Washington, they've been struggling in the red zone all season still to this day. Iowa's defense is good in the red zone. Iowa coming off a crushing loss in Big Ten play. They're going to get this one here in Iowa. I think home field advantage is everything for him. Caleb Johnson's going to run wild. So I'm going to keep these short, guys, just because everything's posted on Pub Sports. Also going to break these down in about 10 minutes with Boss. Penn State, USC, we killed this line movement. We got in at the 6 at -120 earlier in the week. It's all the way down to a 3.5 at most spots. USC is going to win this game outright. USC coming off not coming off 2 losses, but their 2 losses are on the road in Big Ten play in hostile environments. This is going to be a hostile environment at USC. They're going to be showing out for this one. Better believe it, against the number 14 in the nation. With the line moving down, it's telling. Would I take USC at a +3.5? No, because I got in such a better number, but I think they're going to get them outright. Take USC in the points. UCLA, man, beat this line movement too. Doesn't always necessarily mean we're going to win these bets, guys, but I do love when they move it my way. I got on the under 41 earlier in the week. It's down to a 39.5, and we're on the UCLA side of the football, +6.5, -110, down to a +3.5 at +4 at a lot of spots. Same with them, man. They've had the hardest schedule in college football this season. Just a gauntlet of a schedule, and they've been covering these spreads left and right. Minnesota coming off a not a heartbreaking win, a big emotional win at home with the fans storming the field. They were rocking out there. It was one of the biggest wins of PJ Fleck's tenure there, going against the 11th team of the nation in USC. Took care of business. I think UCLA gets them outright in this one. And then we're going to move over to Oregon, Ohio State. My guy Troy, if you're still in there. I'm on Ohio State in this spot. From the eye test alone, guys, I'm not looking at the market in this spot. That I usually do. The market has me a little bit skeptical on this game, but I'm going to trust my eyes and my cap in this one. Ohio State's the clear-cut better team on offense and defense. Dylan Gabriel struggles in the red zone. I think they're going to continue to struggle today. This Ohio State defense is one of the best in the nation. They have one of the best offenses in the nation. The Chip Kelly reunion back at Oregon. It's 2 years at UCLA when they played Dan Lanning. He lost both games. Dan Lanning never has anything great to say about Chip Kelly. I think Chip's going to go out there and take this one personal, and he's going to put his foot on the gas, and he ain't going to stop in Eugene, man. He knows this place well. He's going to have his guys prepared. He's got the playmakers. It's just if they can get open in space and have a little bit of space to take off. Don't get me wrong, this Oregon defense has been stepping up these last couple weeks. Give or yet, the competition's been light. Haven't faced really good team yet, which makes me think that Ohio State's the clear-cut spot. They just blew out Iowa. I'm not saying Iowa's a national a top 10 team by any means, but they're still a good program, and they controlled that game from start to finish completely. And then we're going to look over the Colorado, K-State, Colorado, plus the points and the under, guys. I'm going to keep it short because I got to get out of here. Appreciate you guys for having me. As always, I'll be on the live stream no live stream today, but I'll be on with you guys next week, man. Hopefully we cash these bets, man. Good luck to my guy Moose. Good luck to my guy Daby Cab, Stacks, everyone that came out. Appreciate everyone. Marley Betts, pleasure meeting him too. Good luck to everyone, guys. Follow me at One Time Sports.
Right there, man. And go check out Who Bang and also listen to him and our guy Big Boss. Love doing this with Wine Time, man. Love doing this. Instead of changing the screen and moving it around, I'm just going to go ahead and get our guy up here. Last week He went 8-6, and it was the second worst week he's had on the show. I'm going to say that again. He went 8-6 on the bets he gave out, and it was the second worst week he's had. That's outstanding. I wish I could say that about all the stuff that I've done, giving you guys bets and making bets. He's been absolutely killing it. You guys know exactly who I'm talking about. He doesn't need any more of an introduction right here. Our guy, Kong's Clips. What up, Kong?
Top of the morning to you, lads.
You did. I love that accent, man. I love that accent. I see the shirt too. I see the Oregon shirt. I'm interested to see if we get another take on that game, because I love it when we have opposite sides. I said it earlier. All the kumbaya stuff. That's for the birds. We want a little bit of discussion and disagreement. But Kongs, man, ready to get up here. I know you're ready to fire away. You've been surgical this week, cashing bets, and I know it's the same thing you're going to do here with us. So let's get rolling, man. Where's the first game you want me to pull up here?
First game we're going to hit's Army at UAB. Just to touch on what you said, Northwestern last night, bro. Money line.
Yeah.
I had a couple of people hit me up on X and gave it out to them with the plus points with Arizona State. So it's been looking real good, bro. Just a quick shout out to Avery, Leah, and Emily, my nieces watching. Love you girls. Let's get it.
Awesome, man. Shout out to the family. I'm glad you guys are tuned in also. Got over 200 people rocking with us. Hit the like button if you haven't. Share it. And that's enough. Let's get paid, because you know Wine Time. You know our guy Kongs is going to get us paid. So let's get paid here, Kong. Army's been a wagon, bro. I got to say, I wish I'd been on this wagon with you. Army has been a wagon here at home, taking on UAB, a piss poor UAB team, to be completely honest. But what you got here?
All right, so Army right now 5-0, looking to stay hot and potentially make a playoff run. They're averaging 38.8 points per game and allowing only 9.8 points. UAB is on the opposite end of the spectrum, sitting 1-4, averaging 22.4 points per game and allowing 36.8 points per game. I've been on Army the last 3 weeks and won't stop now. I'm on Army minus 26.5. I gave it out at 25.5. I think it's 27.5, and I think they all cash.
I mean, you had them on the alt line last week, and they even cashed that. I mean, like I said, Army's just been a wagon, so I get it completely. Moose, thoughts on this one?
You guys want to know who the number one team in the country for nets per drive, next points per drive is?
Army,
number one.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool to see a service academy team putting up points like that. You know what? Changing the narrative. It's fun. But no bets for you in this one, Moose?
I mean, team total for Army over. It would be very intriguing. UAB. Dude, Trent Dilfer, what are you doing over there, man? Like, you were talking about this whole, like, we're going to be a passing academy. And you guys rank 107th in drop back percentage success rate. So, get out of here.
So we got Army 26.5 for our guy Kong. Obviously, if it's 27 now, he'll still endorse it. We're not scared of a push here at Pub Sports Radio. It don't really matter. I mean, we want the 26.5, but a 27 ain't going to lose the bet for you. So what's the next one, Kong? Where are we going to roll to after this?
Ole Miss, LSU. Shout out to Stacks.
Talk to me sweet. Don't do what Stacks did to me. Talk to me sweet if you're going to talk to me about this game.
Man, you know what it is. It's Jackson Dart, bro. This Ole Miss defense will be the difference in this game. They held South Carolina to 3 points last week. I think they hold LSU under 14. Quick question. Did you know LSU this season gave up 21 points to Nichols? Crickets. And 33 points to South Carolina. What do we think Ole Miss is going to do to this defense, bro? They put up 60, on a bad day here. And the defense for Ole Miss is stellar so far. I'm on Ole Miss, man. Minus whatever.
So I'm on Ole Miss also. So I will say that. I took Ole Miss also. I posted it at 2.5. It's 3.5 now. Now, that's a different kind of line movement. Those are different bets. I'm not a huge fan of buying stuff in college football, but if you want to quote-unquote tail, maybe take it down to a 3, because like I said, then at worst case you push. I would hate to cash my ticket on a 3-point win and have somebody else lose. But I'm on Ole Miss here. It comes down to defense. You said it, right? Obviously, this total opened up at a 64. It's sitting at 62.5 now. but you look at a total like 64 points, there's going to be points scored. So it's going to come down to which defense can do something. And I don't think that's LSU's defense. Ole Miss's defense has been good this year. I trust them to get a few stops for me, and I think a few stops is all you need in this game. I think you get a couple stops, we're going to see a shit ton of points. And I think when it comes down to it, those few stops for Ole Miss are going to make the difference. So that's why I got Ole Miss. I know all the trends are on LSU. I know a lot of the sharp cappers are on LSU, but I think Ole Miss is just a better football team. I think LSU needs to get out of the top 25. Ole Miss needs to go ahead and backhand them a little bit, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Moose, I would pass this back to
Also,
you, but you kind of already touched on this. Did you have anything else you wanted to say on this one?
I got three things. The areas that LSU has struggled in, they have struggled against the pass. They are 118th in allowing offensive pass percentage success rate, and they are also very poor on early downs. They rank 107th in early downs EPA, and they also allow quite a few big plays. Those are all things that Ole Miss is very strong and very successful with. So yeah, Ole Miss here for me.
Yeah.
Also, this number, I gave it out earlier in the week at 4.5. It's moved against me. That makes me more bullish on it. When numbers move against me this season, I haven't tracked it. I didn't track last week, but before last week, I was 14-2 when numbers move against me. So I like it even more.
Hell yeah. That's funny because the numbers, the way they move, don't really bother me either. What's the next one? Where are you going to take us next here?
We are going to Illinois, Purdue.
Illinois, Purdue. Beautiful, beautiful. Let me pull this graphic up. Got it right here. Illinois, the big favorite. We touched on this one already. Purdue is not a good football team, kind of the capper analysis that we got from there. They suck. What are you looking at here?
It's funny because Moose said the same thing I have written down. Purdue is god-awful this season, sitting 1-4, and most recently giving up 52 points to Wisconsin. Last week, that was last week. This team is transparent on defense, and their offense is not much better. This is a fade of Purdue. Give me Illinois minus 19.5. I see the number has moved drastically. I endorse this up through 20.5. I don't necessarily trust Illinois' offense that much, but with Purdue's defense, it's like you don't have to be confident on offense to move the ball. So I'm on Illinois.
Illinois getting love today. Our guy Guns came in. He was on Illinois first half. Marley was on Illinois first half. You got Illinois first game, and I get it. I mean, I don't see how you'd back Purdue. I don't see how anybody would. Moose, did you have anything else you wanted to share on this about how bad Purdue is?
Hold on, let me check something. Purdue is still awful. Yep, they're still awful. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Purdue is still awful. I love it, man. Shout out to you guys in the chat, man. We're rolling a little bit here because we're an hour and 15 minutes into this show, and I still think Dutch is going to pop on. Moose has got to give his best bets. I got to give mine. So I'm moving a little quicker now. So sorry if I'm missing any of you guys' comments. I did see somebody drop the scores of the game in the live chat. Say this as clear as I can one more time. The giveaway is not for the live chat. It's for the chat, the comment section after the show. Okay. When the show ends, leave a comment below the show on YouTube. Right. Am I being clear? It makes sense what I'm saying, right, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
After the show, leave the comment. Guess the score of the Oklahoma-Texas game. Guess the score of the Ohio State-Oregon game. Whoever gets the closest for each game, I'm going to send two $25 giveaways. I'm going to give $25 to two of you guys in the chat. All you got to do is get the closest to the score. I want to give back for you guys because y'all have been pumping this show. Close to 250 people today. I love it, man. I love you guys. What's the next one you want to take us to, Kong?
We're going to go to Texas, Oklahoma.
Okay, back to the Red River shootout, baby. That's what or Red River rivalry, excuse me, like Marley said. Can't say shootout.
Yeah, this won't be a shootout.
Yeah, you'll get a 15-yard penalty in the NFL.
There we go. Found it right.
All right.
What are we looking at?
So this is essentially the Tennessee game all over again with Oklahoma, except this will have more playmakers on the Texas side. I've been saying it all season. Quinn Ewers starts. Archie Manning comes in. If they get up too much, he's still fighting for the starting position, which I don't know that he will get this season. This is the only team that two quarterbacks actually work with. Typically, we say if you have two quarterbacks, you have no quarterbacks. Texas is rewriting all of this history on their own. I'm on Texas -3.5 first quarter. If you remember, we did this with Tennessee. Tennessee comes out and scores. It cashes. So if Texas comes out, gets a quick touchdown, like I think they will, and holds Oklahoma scoreless or to a field goal, we cover. I'm also on Texas -7.5 in the first half. Same scenario, man. Oklahoma struggling on offense, and this is a rivalry game, so it could change a little bit, but I don't think it changes enough to where they can't cover the first half and the full game at 13.5. That is at -132. I bought the point there just because of the rivalry, but I don't see how Texas shouldn't be up big at the end of this game.
Got it. So we got Texas first quarter, Texas first half, and Texas full game. You bought the point at 13.5. But I like it. Every week you come in here and, and it worked with Tennessee. It might not have last week, but you come in here and I know what your favorite bet is on the board because you load up on that one. Maybe you don't call it your favorite bet on the board, but I feel like the one you load up on is the one you like a lot. So I like seeing that. But I love it. Texas first quarter, Texas first half, Texas full game. Don't think it'll be a shootout here. Was there any other ones? Did you have another one on here, or was it these four?
Syracuse, NC State.
Let me see if I can find a graphic for this one. Hopefully I have it. I don't think I do.
We're getting short on time. I can move without it.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's go ahead and roll.
Okay. Syracuse is a team is playing a team in NC State without their starting quarterback, and the line is moving against me. I have to play it. Syracuse now 4-1. Someone in the chat, I won't say his name, but I remember you said Syracuse won't win 5 games this season, and you was willing to bet me on it. I told you I didn't want to take your money. This is the game 5 they win. Yeah. Kyle McCord looks good in this offense, and this NC State team has given up big numbers week after week. McCord shreds this defense. Syracuse -2.5.
Got the Cuse -2.5. So I got Army ATS, I got Ole Miss ATS, I got Illinois ATS, I got Texas first quarter ATS, Texas first half ATS, Texas full game ATS, and then Syracuse ATS. And I gotta imagine next comes the 2-unit parlay of the week, right?
Close. We have the props that we killed last week. I'll drop the props real quick. It's a lot of the same stuff I've been playing every week, been tearing them up. Milrow longest pass over 42.5 yards. He's been hitting this with his young receivers. Nico longest pass 41.5 yards. All these, I'm getting these on ESPN Bet. Both of those -114. Will Howard longest pass over 42.5 yards. That one's -114 as well. Then we're going to go back to Trey Harris. Jackson Dart's longest pass completion was at 45.5. Every week, it's the same song and dance. He hits Trey Harris along the sideline for a long pass. So we're going Trey Harris instead over 31.5. Longest reception -122. And then our plus money prop of the week is Shadur Sanders, 3+ passing touchdowns, +120. The game's tonight at 10 o'clock. 3+ passing touchdowns, +120. That game's tonight. I like Colorado outright. So we'll see. It'll be a good nightcap for sure on a loaded week of college football. Next, we're going to go to a parlay. So I gave out a 1-unit parlay this week and a 2-unit parlay. The 1-unit parlay, we're going Army -26.5. Texas first quarter -3.5, and Syracuse -2.5. That's at +595 for the 1 unit. And then the reason everybody shows me work. Currently up 40 units on this play. Had been killing it, dropped 2 straight. We get back this week. Illinois minus 20.5. It's an alt line. Ole Miss minus 3.5. And Texas alt line minus 13.5. It's plus 508 for 2 units. Let's get paid today, guys. I'm feeling it this week.
Love it. Sorry, I'm writing so I can keep up with it, but I got it. And I will recap it all. I got the props. I got the 2 unit. I got the 1 unit. I got the action Kong. And last week you were one game away from cashing the 2 unit prop again. I'm sure a lot of people remember that. We were right there to go 5 out of 6, which is just insanity. But we're going to get back on it this week. I know you are. Man, I love what you bring to the channel, to the show, to the chat. Kongs, thank you. You've been a breath of fresh air, doing this. It's a lot of fun having you up here. You got any last words for the chat, man, before we keep this thing rolling?
Yeah, shout out Justin McKelvey, Nunya, Pipe Layer, all you guys. You keep this channel rolling. I'm sure you're making money, so it's a win-win for both of us. Shout out to my sister and my nieces again. I love you all. Let's make some money today, man. Shout out Jeff Slaughter. Shout out you guys, Moose, Dad. Let's go get some money.
Hell yeah, Kong. Hell yeah, man. Can't say it enough. I love the energy that guy brings. Obviously, I love the bets he brings too. He's brought money, so that's most important. But the energy, the good vibes, all of it. I can't thank him enough. I can't thank you guys in the chat enough, man. Andrew G, Wager Detective, I got you. I wrote it down, Wager Detective. I am on the other side, but I wrote it down. He's got LSU plus 3.5. I will put that in the recap with everyone, Wager Detective. Like I said to Justin, I hope you're wrong, but I do appreciate your opinion, and I appreciate you coming in here and dropping your hard work and your knowledge with us. Moose, we're an hour and 22 in. I think Dutch is going to show up. I'm not sure. If he does, we'll pop him up. But even if he doesn't, we got to roll. I want to hear some of your best bets, and then I want to give my best bets out to everyone. So anything we haven't touched on, any graphics that you want me to pull up first, Moose. Also, have your questions ready in the chat, guys. If you want to ask Moose questions, you can do it. We still got over 230 people rocking with us. It's been special today, man. I appreciate you guys. Where are we looking at first, Moose?
Why don't we go to Louisville, Virginia?
Hopefully I have a graphic for that. I don't know why I don't think that I do, because I've scrolled through them so many times. I should have a graphic for that because this is a great game. Let me go ahead and make one while you start talking about it, Moose. I'll put one up for it.
Okay. All right. This is Louisville going on the road, and Louisville, they've looked decent. Their defense has played, all right, but they have struggled in drop back percentage success rate. They are allowing 41.2% success rate when opposing teams are dropping back. That ranks 103rd in the nation. And Virginia isn't exactly a drop back team, but they've been moderately successful. One of the issues, though, that I've seen with Louisville is that they are struggling to convert in the red zone. So they are getting these, somewhat bigger plays down the field, but when they get to the red zone, they have struggled. And Virginia has done a poor job of preventing teams from scoring. But if the offense is having their own issues scoring in the red zone, I kind of feel like that might be a wash. Both teams rank in the middle of the pack in terms of scoring or creating big plays and preventing big plays. But one of the issues that is a little concerning to me is going to be Virginia on defense for their early downs and third and fourth downs. Early downs, they are 90th in the country, and on third and fourth downs, they are 97th in the country, and Louisville has been decent at that. But this is kind of one of those spots where I think that a touchdown is a little too much here. I think this should be lined up more at a field goal game, because this is a Virginia team that has played very well this year, and I kind of think that this might be a little bit more of a reaction to Louisville hanging in there with Notre Dame. But last week against SMU, you saw them really struggle, and they struggled against the run as well. And that's something that Virginia has done very well this year. They have a 43.3% success rate, ranks 48th in the country. And I kind of see that happening here, is that Virginia is going to be able to somewhat control clock. I think they'll be able to slow the game down. And if you're talking about a game that is slowed down and a touchdown separating the two, I liked Louisville against Notre Dame when they were getting the touchdown, but having to give up a touchdown, No. I am on Virginia here. I took the 7.5, and I did sprinkle the money line a little bit, but I really like the plus 7.5 for Virginia. Muted. Cap, muted.
Ah, fuck. I've been doing so good. Since you're the only person who stays the whole time with me, you're the only one that I don't write your bets down. I let you recap them at the end. I've already got 2 full pages of bets, so forgive me. But since you're here, you can recap it. But Louisville -7. Shout out to my dude. Shout out to Domo in the chat, man. Jim, good to see you. I think Jim was the one who left the comment here instead of after the show. It's after the show when you leave those comments. But we got to keep it rocking. Oh, shit. Did I miss that? How did I miss that? Shout out to our guy, Cameron, man. Dropping the $9.99 dono. He said, shout out to Jimmy the Bag for the Utah State team total over. How about Utah State covering that game when they were down by like 50? I mean, I would have taken UNLV first half if I bet it, so I would have been fine. But how fucking mad would I be right now if I had them full game? But we got to keep this thing rolling, man. Thank you again for the dono, man. You keep the channel rocking. We got our guy backstage, Moose. He's got a couple bets best for us. And then we got your best bets. I'm just going to recap mine. We're not even going to be able to talk about it. But let me go ahead and get this dude up right here. You know, my co-host, I always say the best show. It sounds bad because the tailgate of one of the 2 best shows in the world right there. There you go. One of the 2 best shows in the world. Every Monday we do it. Medicate Monday, the sesh right here on Pub Sports Radio. And I love doing it with him. Guy's become a good friend of mine, but also one of the better cappers that we got here in this thing we do. Shout out to my dude, Dutch Boy Fresh. What up, Dutch?
Yeah, man. How we feeling, fellas? How we feeling?
Good, Dutch.
Good, man. I'm always tired, but because I don't sleep on Friday nights, and then Saturday morning comes early. But as soon as that intro hits for this show, I'm ready to rock, man. I'm ready to go. Energy's high.
I dig it. Yeah, man. I ain't gonna lie. Like, little Gotti was crying at the end of the bed. I had to take his ass out. I just woke up. Like, I seen you say, "You next, homie." When I was outside, I was like, fuck. I was hoping I didn't get the text this morning because I'm a little late to fuck up. But you know, Skrilla Scratch Saturday. It's only right. You know, like our boy Wham Bam would say, that I touch down on the tailgate before we get to the bag. Shout out to our guy, Justin in the chat. I see you, my dude. Stacks, and a little more stacks.
He
Oldie
popped
in
on
the
here
building.
with us just a little bit
Dougie
ago.
Wise. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My man. Going big time, Justin. Going big time. Moose Money. You see, I left that up there for you. This little comment, the 7.5. You know, I highlighted it for you because I know Cab just shitted all over your breakdown when he goes, yeah, okay, so you're on Louisville -7. No, we're actually on Virginia plus 7.5. And it's not the first game on the board for me, but I'm on it. I tweeted out, you know, I believe on Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm right with, I got a little bit of what you were saying, Moose. I was trying to switch over to my ear pods. I really like Virginia here, 7.5, man. I'm to the window with it. You know, we cashed a lot off of the prop with Tyler Schrute last week. I like it again. It's a little high at 280. I think they'll move the ball against Virginia, but I agree completely with you. I think this should be like a field goal, maybe 3.5, 7.5. Yeah. Like, get the fuck out of here. Forget about it. Straight to the window with the Cavaliers. They got a quarterback, a dual threat quarterback who can move the ball with his legs and obviously with the arm. They got a solid back end pace. Really what it comes down to me is the secondary. We watched this team play against Wake Forest, kind of back and forth, gave up 400 yards to Bachmeyer. So there will be some points scored, and we will be laying, you know, putting our head to the ground watching this Virginia defense at times. But overall, Louisville's the same damn thing. I mean, SMU went goddamn near Madden on them last week. I mean, their backup quarterback obviously has been around for a couple of weeks, Jennings, but that was too easy. I look at Louisville as Fugazi. It stood out a little bit against Notre Dame. I think we've seen it even more against SMU. So give me the 7.5. I agree with our boy Moose Money Bets. They lied to win the motherfucking football game.
Oh, Cab twice.
I did say the wrong thing, but I didn't even realize I said it. I listened to you though, Moose. If that makes you feel better, man. I saw the dono come in, so my bad. I said the wrong thing, man.
Yeah, shout out to Cameron.
Yeah, right. We've had a hell of a chat, man. Several donos coming in.
Didn't I say that yesterday though? We were talking. You're like, it should have been on UNLV first. I was like, I don't give a fuck who they're playing. I'm not laying 18 on the road with UNLV. And then that you drop a 50 piece and still don't cover. You know, the team total though. Shout out to the team total bettors.
It's crazy. And it's a weird thing too, because like I said, I would have been first half, so I would have cashed, but seeing them not cash the full game almost makes me okay with the fact I didn't take first half, because how pathetic is that? But we'll keep this thing rolling because we got We got some big games
let's
still
go
to get into.
let's go to 9 a.m. game. Let's go to Iowa, man. Ain't shit else to do there but win some fucking money on a football game.
Hell yeah.
Dub, the Huskies coming to town. Now keep in mind here, this right here, guys, is crazy because the Big Ten teams that have traveled 2 time zones are 1-8 straight up this year. 1-8 straight up this year. Now Washington hasn't even left Washington but one time. Went to Rutgers on a Friday night and missed 3 field goals and got beat by Rutgers. And as we just seen last week against Nebraska, Rutgers got us a push, but maybe Rutgers ain't the best thing going. I do think Iowa's a better defense than what the Rutgers present. And this is just it's a spot play for me. I think Iowa can play competitive defense and move the ball offensively somewhat. But it's a spot play, man. UW's traveling, as I just mentioned. It's a 9 a.m. fucking kickoff for these boys. And they just beat Michigan. I mean, the defending champions from last year. You say what you will, it didn't matter. It's a big win for me in my opinion against Michigan. Now you travel all the way to fucking Iowa and a 9 a.m. kickoff. These boys are gonna get hit in the mouth and not get the fuck up, in my opinion. I laid the -140. I think it's because it was like I was getting 2.5 at -120 everywhere. So I said, why not just take the 140 money line? I'm confident in this though. For I think it's 3 right now everywhere. It's good money, man. I really think Iowa runs these boys out the fucking field. Washington's in trouble here.
Love it. I got our guy Tom Leach dropping in on Virginia +7 best bet also. I got you, Tom Leach. I wrote it down. Dude, this is the most, how many bets we give out on the show when I recap them. It's usually like in the 40s. This is the most bets that I've ever written down today. So I've got a hell of a recap for you guys at the end. And I'm excited. Moose, you haven't had a chance to talk about this one yet. Did you have anything?
I like that.
Any bets on this one?
Yeah, I am on Iowa as well. I do feel like
Let's go, Moose.
The nervousness is that it does seem like it's kind of a trendy pick. A lot of the analysis is, they played Michigan and that was a huge game for them. You could tell it was a huge game for them. Just look how they celebrated. Even their head coach is like, after the final whistle, like, yeah! It's like, dude, it's a regular season win, Like, I get that it's like Michigan, but you weren't even the head coach there last year.
But that's his first year there, beating Michigan. Say what you will, they're down. It's just a program booster. You know what I mean? For him, it's a confidence booster for him and throughout the locker room. Go ahead.
Yeah. And I get that, but the play that, Cappers, that we see that we're like, hey, that game meant a lot. Like, that was a big time game. And if you're trying to build your program, you don't really want to be setting, any one team, any one opponent above the other. Like, they should all be important as you're trying to build things up. So the idea that game was kind of like they blew their load on Michigan. Yeah, I'm fine with that. But the thing that I looked at more than anything was the rush defense. When Washington has had to play teams that could rush the ball, when you look at how they played against Rutgers, they struggled. Even against Michigan, Michigan did run the ball fairly effectively. But the big problem that I see is that Washington does not have the big boys on the line. They got some size, but they have athletic size. So they can run, horizontal. They can work, sideline to sideline. But when it comes to between the tackles, you saw Kyle Monangai. He was just between the tackles, 7 yards and a chunk. And Caleb Johnson is a very similar runner. Iowa's a very similar offensive line. The worry is Cade McNamara. If he has to make a throw, like you saw the Red Rifle at Rutgers, he had to make a couple of throws, and he made them. Can Cade McNamara make those throws? Probably not. But, I mean, if you're talking about Caleb Johnson just getting chunk yards, I like Iowa here. I think that this is a good spot for them, and they do have to go on the road again. And it is kind of like East Coast, home, Iowa. Like that travel path is going to be a little difficult. So I do like Iowa here. I took the minus, I think I got a -2.5, and it went up to 3, and now it's back to 2.5 again, or 1.5. But I do like Iowa.
I like Iowa a lot here. I completely agree. I think it's in the trenches. I think that D line's a little soft. And I think the D is a lot better for Iowa than it is, to make example out of Rutgers. And this kid Johnson you're talking about ran for fucking 200 against Minnesota. I think they got a better front than Washington, to be quite honest with you. And then you look, I mean, they played USC's pretty solid. And then you look at, he averaged 5.7 yards a tuck, 87 against the Ohio State Buckeyes. So I think he's gonna have a field day. Probably, the props are a little light for me this weekend, but maybe I should have looked his way in the running back.
Yeah, I'm writing it down right now too. I might go check out Caleb Johnson as well.
Speaking of props, since we probably will run out of time, I'll just go ahead and tell you guys a prop that I'm on is Judkins rushing prop for Ohio State. I think that he gets it today. That number's all over the place. I got 66.5. I think you can get better than that, and you can get worse than that. Either way, I like it. I think he gets up into the 70s, no problem. So I got Judkins for Ohio State. Just wanted to throw that out there. But
right.
Both our guys here on Iowa. Where's our next one, Dutch?
Yeah, man. Let's go to Colorado, man. Mile motherfucking high. I mean, it's prime time. We're on the tailgate. Why not get a little prime time?
Okay.
Shadur Sanders, Travis Hunter. I mean, these motherfuckers ain't even really getting talked about. That's the crazy thing. I mean, when they weren't good, we couldn't get them off the motherfucking screen or off our goddamn time page. Now, Shadur and these boys are playing football, and I don't see them.
It's crazy how that works.
They're playing this week. I mean, honestly, I didn't even really look at the game and it's at the bottom of the thing, and then you mentioned Kansas State, and I'm like, honestly, I'm looking the other way. I'm looking the other way. I like Colorado here. I'm not bullish on Kansas State. I think Kansas State, played pretty solid against Oklahoma State, but the book might be out on them boys. K-State, you look at them, they don't wow me by any means. They play good football, but from Colorado perspective, you're getting them as a dog. I mean, I think they got this edge going. I think the vibe is there. Shadur Sanders is an NFL quarterback. If you give this kid time, he will eat your ass up. He's got 4 legit receivers. 3 will be playing on Sunday, and 1 might be the motherfucking Heisman Trophy winner. So I just think keep his ass right side up, and they win this football game. You can give me 3.5. I mean, it was at 4. Obviously the worry here is the run defense against. Will they be able to hold up against Kansas State? I think Kansas State will obviously make this a game. And physically, I am a little bit worried of them getting overwhelmed, but I just don't think K-State got the players. I really don't think offensively they got the players to really just go in there and beat Colorado for 4
I don't
quarters.
trust Avery Johnson at quarterback. I will say that. That's probably why I haven't bet this game, because I told you, Dutch, I told you that I kind of liked Kansas State. I kind of thought they were a better version of Nebraska. But the more I sit there with it, I'll take Dylan Raiola and his fake wannabe Patrick Mahomes ass over Avery Johnson.
And this front 7 is nowhere near the front 7 that Nebraska has. I mean, Nebraska's front 7 is elite. They're really good, So I don't think K-State's front 7 is that either. I mean, Tulane played these boys pretty tough. If you look at the schedule, their most impressive win, I guess, would be Okie. So I don't know. I just think Colorado's live to win the game, and you give me points. This is probably the one where I would be the least shocked if Colorado loses it. I just think there's an edge. I like the fact that I'm getting the better quarterback, the home team, with the momentum, and I'm getting points. So why not go to the window here with it? I'm not going to overthink it. K-State could run for 6 yards of carry against these boys, and it could be over. But at the end of the day, I think Colorado's got the momentum. They're under the radar, and they got the best player on the field, the 2 best players on the field, in my opinion. And one plays both ways, and the other one plays fucking quarterback. So give me.
They're ranked if they win this game. If Colorado wins this game, there's no more not talking about them, because they bust through the rankings here. If they win this game, they got to be ranked. If they win this game, they got to. I think you and Moose must have played patty cake and talked about your bets before the show today. Because judging by the hat, I'm about to ask Moose, but judging by the hat, I'm going to go ahead and make some assumptions. What are you thinking about this one, Moose?
I'm not on Colorado. I mean, this is just one of my college football teams. So I have 2 college football hats. I have San Diego State and I got CU. So, it's not a ton of options in the wardrobe in terms of what I can put on top of the old dome here. But I will say I definitely like Colorado here. I'm going to be checking out some Shadur Sanders passing props. I'm going to be checking out some Travis Hunter receiving props. One of the areas that Kansas State has really struggled has been their secondary and their pass rush. They have not really generated too much of a pass rush. I mean, you look at just their PFF grades and their pass rush, they've only graded over a 65 twice, and that was against Tulane and Tennessee Martin in weeks 1 and 2. The last 3 weeks, 57.2, 59.1, 53.0. And this is also a tough spot, and just in terms of travel. You go from an Oklahoma State bashing last time before the bye week, and now you got Colorado where you have to go to altitude. And then next week, you have to go to West Virginia. So it's kind of a weird little travel spot. And Colorado just played a mobile quarterback in KJ Jefferson. And now you got a guy that's a mobile quarterback. Yes, Avery Johnson is going to be faster, but you still got the prep. You still got the gameplay against KJ Jefferson. And I think Colorado definitely can potentially put up some points here. The issues for Colorado have been in the red zone where they have not been as successful as you would expect them to be. 40th in the country in points off of Eckel, which is fine. But given how often they're in the red zone and having to settle for field goals or having to turn the ball over on fourth downs, like, it's just like, okay, that's not great, but they're looking better. So I definitely lean Colorado here. I'm going to look at some props on Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter, but I'd be careful with Kansas State here because this is a weird spot for Kansas State coming off the bye week, off of an Oklahoma State beatdown, and then traveling to West Virginia next week.
I could see this game going over, too, for people looking at the total. I mean, if you like Colorado, you got to think Colorado might get into the 30s, possibly even the 40s. So I like it. So we got Colorado here for Dutch. No play for Moose and I, but we got plenty of action today. Dutch, you had one other one or two other ones?
Actually, I come on here, I give you guys all this shit. You ask all this shit from me, Cap. Can I ask something out of you guys, man? Let's like, what's up with this Oregon fucking Ohio State game, bro? Like,
Okay.
I can still get the 3.5, man. I want to bet the Ducks. Shout out to Big Happy. He's at this game. He's at this game today. Game day gonna be so kind of like a
He's at
bucket
this
list
game
thing for
today?
him. Yeah, I told you that
Yeah.
last night.
He can
But
make
your
time for
phone-
Ohio State, Oregon, but not for us, huh, Dutch?
I'm telling you, this kid's like a kid in the candy store, man. Kid's like a kid in the candy store, bro. If they have alcohol, if the session was like based off of where they hand you a drink, he would be there every day, But unfortunately, he's like, these motherfuckers just trying to get high and talk some shit. I don't even smoke weed. He doesn't. If he smokes, he just shuts down. He's that type of dude, But he'll drink 30 beers. But shout out to him and have a great day today with College Game Day and the Buckeyes. But at the end of the day, man, I think. How do we trust Ryan Day to go into Oregon in that atmosphere and win this football game? I mean, I want to get on the 3.5. It's later. I got time to wait. I haven't bet it. We talked about it. Cap hasn't really been much talked about. Oregon,
crazy.
Ohio State. You're on the prop. Obviously, you think he's going to run. They're loaded. You got the $20 million fucking roster. But at the end, and I was happy with this kid Howard from Kansas State. I thought he was good. I think he's an upgrade from McCord. But Gabriel's nice, man. Now he's going to make you put your head down. He's going to make some plays where, like, goddamn, he had 2 interceptions against Michigan State, in the red zone, I believe. But I like betting on kids like this in college football. I think he's more of a dual threat. Maybe he's the way to go today. Just load up on him. But I think he's the type of player that can do more than what the cat can do for Ohio State. The question to me, can Oregon hold up in the trenches? I like Oregon here. I want to get Oregon here. Tell me why not, or why two, Moose? What are we talking here?
So I'll let Moose give you on the side. I just want to go in. I'm let Moose go in on this side a bit. I couldn't pull the trigger on a side. If I'm being honest, I guess maybe that means I'd probably lean Oregon. I'd like the 3.5 because it could come down to the last possession. But man, this prop, Dutch, you said, let me do something for you. Let me do something for you. Go ahead and take Judkins rushing prop. Everybody in the chat, go ahead and do the same. I'll return the favor real quick. He's averaging 93.6 yards per game here on this year. But let's go back and look, like, last year with Mississippi, he was averaging, where was it? Hold on.
Nunya talking that shit.
He was averaging.
Nunya,
so he was averaging 106 yards per game last year with Mississippi. You go back 2 years ago, 2022 with Mississippi, he was averaging 91 yards per game. This year, he's averaging 93 yards per game. He's hit it in 4 out of his 5 games. This is a big game. They're going to hand him the football. He's going to get 13, 14, 15 carries. You're only asking me to get to 70 yards? Hell yeah, I think he hits it. I think this is a great prop. Take Judkins.
Yeah. My bad, Cap. You texted me him last night, and I don't even need to listen to your breakdown when it comes to the props. I just bet it, dude. Like, he texted me Moss last week. I was like, who's is Texas A&M playing? Because he's locked the fuck in with them boys, and the props are just money with you. So, I'll be betting Moss when he comes on. And you texted me this guy last night. I said, what I say? I said, who's he play for? There's so many fucking. I was loaded last night. I was out and about, and I'm like, wait, who's this guy play for? You just sent me a last name. Shout out to JPZ in the motherfucking building, my guy. Good to see you, my man. Let's take a Monday off, JPZ. We need you on the sesh. Take a Monday off. Call in late, but it's overdue, man. Let's make it happen. The next holiday, Monday, whatever, you on the sesh. Let's put it in the stone, man. Let's put it in the stone. But yeah, Nunya, man, I see you talking that shit, bro. I know you ain't saying nothing about Alabama Vanderbilt, all that shit he was talking last week. But it's a new week. It's a new week. We're done with that. Do you think Vandy shows up today, or do they get rocked around by Kentucky? I almost want to bet Kentucky -13, but I'm gonna stay away. Moose, talk to me about this Ohio State Oregon game.
All right, first off, I think I have a new saying, question to me. I love that. So that's going to be that part of my vernacular moving forward. So question to me, which team do I think is going to win here? And I'm going to go with Ohio State. And one of the big reasons I'm looking at here is the difference in the red zone. When you look at Oregon, they've had 21 red zone opportunities, and they've only scored a touchdown on 14 of them. And you go to Ohio State, which ranks number 1 in the country in red zone success, having 1,000% or 100% scoring rate out of 21 red zone attempts, 20 touchdowns. So if you're going to talk about the red zone success and you're going to say that Ohio State's the one that's converting red zone opportunities into touchdowns and Oregon has not been as successful there, that's where I find the big advantage, because really these two teams are very, very even in a lot of different ways. I would definitely say Oregon has the advantage at quarterback. But hey, Will Howard's legit. He could play, but he's not Dylan Gabriel. But Dylan Gabriel has had some red zone issues. There have been times where you see the offense kind of stall out a little bit in the red zone. And I think the Ohio State defense is absolutely legit. They've been one of the best teams in preventing red zone scoring. So I like Ohio State to beat Oregon here. I think they do cover it, but I'm not. If you're trying to do like those alt line plays, because I see a lot of people in the chat that are going like, "Oh, Ohio State gonna smash." I don't know about a smash spot here. Like I don't think it's gonna be one of those like Ohio State wins by 14 or anything like that. I think this is gonna be a close game. Oregon generally plays pretty well in big games, but this is a game where I think Ohio State's going to go on the road. They're going to do what they can, and they're going to be able to come out with the victory. And I think they are going to cover. If you can want to take them at a 4.5 or something like that as your alt spread, I'd be fine with that. But if you're trying to go 7.5 or a 7, I'd be a little hesitant there. But I do like Ohio State, the O, to take the victory here. And the one thing I will add to Cab's prop play, one of the issues that Oregon has been in rush defense. Their rush defense has not been great. It's been fine. It's been decent, but it has not been great. And when you look at Ohio State and their running ability, they are one of the best run blocking teams in the nation right now. And they have a dual combo, a 1-2 punch in the backfield. So it's not just Judkins going back there. You also got Travion, and they can go fresh hand. They can go hot hand, however they want to play that. So I really like Ohio State here. I took the 2.5. I took the 3. I don't think you're going to see a 2.5. I think if anything, it'll start to creep back up. But Ohio State -3 on my card.
Okay,
good
so
Lord.
Sits here.
Little breakdown, good solid breakdown there, huh? From our guy Moose Cab.
Yeah, no, bro, Moose kills it. That's why I love having him up here.
Sometimes he'd be. This one was completely one-sided. He wasn't leaning in. He wasn't waffling this time, boy. His ass was straight Buckeye. Our boy Cons puts in the chat.
I like to give like the both sides. Like I like to say like Oregon has been very good at early downs, but Ohio State's been better.
You didn't
Oregon
say shit good about Oregon.
Bad field position. Ohio State hasn't. It's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, everything I kind of look at was Ohio State. Yeah. But Oregon does have players. They do have the better quarterback. But
I'm always worried about Oregon. I'm always worried about Oregon in the trenches. Look at that cat Gentry. I mean, he's all world, but he ran for 200 motherfucking yards against these boys. Maybe the numbers are a little influenced by that, but I mean, you could get 200 against any defense. That defense is a little bit suspect, but yeah, I'll stay away from him, bro. I'll stay away from him. Collins Clips in the chat, Cav is giving us all this shit about all these numbers about Oregon. He loves Oregon, and then Steve says you could say the same exact thing about Oregon State that you just so.
Well, that's what I love though. Is my favorite thing, Dutch, is whenever people are on opposite sides, like with you and Nunya last week or this week on this game. I like hearing the opposite sides. I like seeing the opposite sides. And I also like knowing that I'm going to cash my bet regardless. So all you guys going back and forth trying to pick a side, just take Judkins, baby. Let's get some money.
Bet the prop, man. Just bet the prop.
Yeah. Shit, I can't believe we're already at 1:50 here on the show. Dutch, did you have any other best bets you wanted to hit on?
No, man, I'm good. I don't know, man. We'll see how the day goes. I like Oregon, but that was a pretty good breakdown by Moose. And I am worried about the run defense and just holding up in the trenches. So I'm pretty good. I'm good right now, though. Another game I was looking at, though, was that Tennessee-Florida game. I like 15.5. It's down to 14.5. I think anything over 2 touchdowns, but you and, guys I respect are really, trying to pretty much say Tennessee spot. So I don't know if you guys talked about this game or not, but
that's all it is.
Yeah.
If they didn't lose last week, I'd be all over Florida right here. But because Tennessee lost last week, that's the only reason I'm not interested.
huge coaching edge, obviously. Napier's fucking pretty much in Norville. They're on the same bus, right? Something must be in that fucking water out there. But I just think Mertz is kind of turning the page a little bit. Defense is still a worry, but I kind of like what I'm seeing out of Florida. With was on them last week against UCF. I thought it was just too easy. They're getting 2.5, closed at 1.5, and they fucking punked them. Like, I just think Mertz has got them boys playing a little bit. He's playing good ball, and then they got Lagway, the all-world dude coming off whenever they need him. So I kind of like Florida here. Moose, you have anything on this one?
No, I mean, same thing. Just what Cap said. Coming off the loss against Arkansas, you wonder what Heupel's going to do to kind of get them back on track. But these games have generally been very close. I mean, Florida and Tennessee. I think was it last year or the year before that Tennessee went into Florida and Florida just kind of bitch slapped them. So these games have generally been close, and it's one of those bets that you just go, hey, if you're on Tennessee, you're betting the better team. If you're on Florida, you're probably betting the trend. And you're probably betting the spot, but this looks like it could be a bounce back. So I got nothing on that one.
Well, Dutch came through, gave us Virginia, Iowa, Colorado, leaned on Oregon, didn't get there, leaned on Florida, didn't get there.
We're talking all that shit about leaning on Moose, and I come in here and give 2 leans. They weren't leans though. Really, I just want to know what you guys are thinking and see what the chat was thinking. Because hey, I'll just talk a little college football if I got to get up and fucking do this shit. Lean me, help me out a little bit.
My guy Montez said we got 236 watching and only 85 likes. Hit that like button, guys.
Disrespectful, man. Hundo's Mando, man. Come on, man. You want to achieve the finer things in life. Hitting the like button's one of the first steps of that. Show some motherfucking love and run it up.
Just double check. Yeah, I see 138 right now. You just got to refresh it. But still, let's get that 138 up. Let's keep pushing it up. Dutch, man, I know how early it is for you, Dutch, but you're one of the people that I really want here with me. So I appreciate you doing this. You've been winning on the show. I know you've had a couple weeks that maybe we're down by 1, but overall, you're a winning capper on the show, which I know you're a winning capper always. But here on the show, you've won for us. So thank you, man. I appreciate the hell out of it. And Monday, we'll be back Monday. We got over 200 people in here right now. There should be over 200 people with Dutch and I on the sesh. There is no fucking excuse for us not to have 200 plus people on Medicaid Monday. Please hear me right now. If you're tuning in here with us Monday mornings, okay, 11 a.m., 10 a.m. on the Central Time, 8 a.m. on Dutch's West Coast. Tune into the sesh. It's Medicaid Mondays. We have a laugh. We have a good smoke, but we get to the money, bro. We make money, and that's what there is to it.
Yeah, if it ain't foreign, it's born. Hey, I like that. I want to see that name in the session on Medicaid Mondays, 11 a.m. Eastern time. I like that. That's a dope ass name. If it ain't foreign, it's born. I've seen a couple other guys in here. A lot of real ones that I see on the daily though. Mally Mal, as always, Justin. Cons clips, big Cons clips. Hopefully Jose can get that intro done for you so we can debut that on a Medicaid Monday. And he gave out all his plays fresh and early on Medicaid Monday. So, Cons Clips is the heavy hitter. Tune in just for that because he'll be breaking down next week's card there. Moose, as always, it's nice to see you, Mr. Diego. I know you're probably a little in the sorrows after, not hitting the ball for fucking 48 hours. But you'll be all right, bro. You'll be all right. We got college football all day. I know. We're longer than that. Cab was fucking crying like – I'm not going to say crying, but he was pretty pissed off about the Padres collapse. Yep. And I told him.
I had money on it. Of course I was.
Yeah. I know, but you like the Padres too, though. You like him. He secretly is a Padres fan. Now, look. I told him, bro, fucking Dodgers rip that heart out. Rip that heart out, bro. Yeah, man. Always good to see you guys. Always good to see the real ones in the chat. Let's have a motherfucking Saturday, fellas.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, stay fresh, man.
Hell yeah, man. Moose, we're at hour 54 in. As you've heard, there is no live stream today. So we could take a little bit longer, guys, because I want to give everybody's bets. I want to recap everybody's bets for you. And I want to let Moose hit anything he hasn't hit yet. I'm just going to say mine right now, okay? I got Ole Miss, all right? I took a -2.5. I don't love the 3.5, so maybe take a 3 if you're tailing me. I got Ole Miss. I got the Judkins rushing prop over 66.5 for Ohio State. I think he hits that. I love the bet. It's one of those things where, like, I don't feel like you got to pick a side in that game. Just go with the prop personally. If you do want to pick a side, good luck. And then I got USC first half. One of the games we have not talked about. I got USC first half +3. That line has moved a ton. I still like the plus points in the first half with USC. I think they're live. I might add bets on the later slate. If I do, I'll tweet it out. So just follow me. But those are the 3 I got going in right now. Moose, what's another game you want to look at before we wrap this thing up?
You know what? Let's go to Cincinnati at UCF. That's one of my bigger smash spots.
Hell yeah. Cincinnati, UCF. Man, I liked this game a lot. And I'll just say it. I kind of wanted to take the points with Cincinnati here, but didn't do it. What are you looking at? What are you thinking?
I took the fucking points with Cincinnati here.
Yep.
I like them first half, though, because that's kind of the area where Cincinnati has been more successful. If you look at their games, they have definitely been more successful in the first half than they have been full game. So I took the first half Cincinnati at +2.5. I took first half Cincinnati money line, and I also took Cincinnati team total over 13.5. If you look at UCF, they have really struggled in the first half as well. I mean, they have allowed an average of about 17 points, and that's whether at home or on the road. The other factor here is because of Hurricane Milton that was running through there, UCF was not able to practice for like the last 3 days. So they were just doing a lot of, kind of walkthroughs in the hotels, in the dorm rooms. I mean, the whole entire campus was evacuated. I mean, they were gone. So
Right.
there wasn't there was not a ton of practice opportunity. I would expect UCF to potentially, make some in-game adjustments. In the press conferences, Gus Malzahn was talking about how well Cincinnati is coached. And if you're talking about a guy that is expecting Cincinnati to be well coached, I would expect them to come out firing. I also like Xavier Henderson over 5.5 receptions. That one I got at plus money. But if you could get a receiving yard on Xavier Henderson, I like that more than the over 5.5. Cincinnati is one of those teams that with Sorsby back there, they look like a much more potent offense, and they have graded very well on the offensive side. The concern would be on the rush side, the rushing defense, where they've been fine. But KJ Jefferson is a dog at times. He could be a beast. That's concerning, but I still like Cincinnati here. I took them first half. That's the way I would encourage people to take it. If you were going to bet Cincinnati, you take it first half. If you want to take them full game, fine. No problems with that. I think first half has a significant advantage, though. So I took Cincinnati first half.
Cincinnati first half. Man, I loved Cincinnati in the points here, and I didn't get there, so it might be something I need to take. KJ Jefferson, I'm 2-0 when I bet his rushing prop, but he was at -1 yards at halftime. And last time I cashed his rushing props, and he ended up getting to 79, but that, I don't know, that left a bad taste in my mouth. So I've stayed off of him since then. But I do like Cincinnati here. I love it. Let's keep rolling because we're already way past time. But I still want to hear any of the best bets you got. And I know the chat does too. We got still right about 200 people rocking with us. And we'll wrap this up quick, guys. I'll hit all the best bets, and then you got a chance to win $25 twice. I'm doing 2 giveaways. You just got to drop the comments after the show. I'll go over that one more time too. Moose, what's the next one?
I believe I only have one more here. That is correct. I am on Eastern Michigan against Miami, Ohio.
Okay, and I don't have a graphic for that.
There's no way you have that one. So Miami, Ohio is one of those teams that they were coming into the season very hyped. You got Gabbert that's at quarterback who's coming back for his 18th year in the college football play. But this has been very disappointing for Miami, Ohio. If you look at how they've been graded, they've graded very poorly. And something Eastern Michigan has done is they have played solid football. They're not going to be a team that you look at and just go, oh man, this is one of the best teams in college football. But they played well. They've created big plays. They've scored off of big plays. They have prevented big plays. They've prevented big scoring plays. And Miami, Ohio has really struggled offensively to create big plays. They've really struggled in the red zone. The one thing that Ohio defense has done is they have been decent in the red zone. So if you wanted to play an under here, that could also be on the table. But really, this is a Miami, Ohio team that I just was very disappointed in, and an Eastern Michigan team that has been very surprising. And so when I look at one of my resources, that's at collegefootballinsiders.com. Shout out Stats of War, Parker Fleming. He's one of the ones that runs this website. They have Eastern Michigan winning outright by 6, and that's the dog that's getting 6 points. That I think it could be a pick 'em based off what we're seeing, but I think the line is based off of some of the expectations we had coming into the year. And quite frankly, the expectations have not been met. They have not been realized. And I will take the team that is playing better football rather than the team that was expected to be the better team. So Eastern Michigan, I took them full game and I took them first half.
Beautiful, man. You're getting some love from the chat right now. Kong said he needs a Moose breakdown in his life. Pipe said, thank you, Moose. Everybody coming in. Right now is the time to go ahead and drop your questions because we got to wrap this. We're already at 2 hours. We're past time. But you know what? When we're getting paid, time is kind of irrelevant. We just got to keep it rolling. So drop any questions you have for Moose in the chat, guys. If there's a game we didn't talk about, a prop we didn't talk about, anything, drop it in the chat. Also, if you haven't sent Moose your email address yet to get his Moose Drive, you're missing out. He caps the games in depth, and now that the Padres season is over, he'll probably have even more stuff in there for you. He gets in deep. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. Everybody who's got it loves it. All you got to do is give him your email, and he'll give you his caps in writing for every game. I don't know anybody else or any other place that's doing that for you. So shout out to our guy Moose. But I got to catch my breath because I'm going to hit these bets really quick. For everybody that came on. So we started right here. We got Guns. Guns came on. He had Rutgers ATS. He had Illinois ATS first half. And why do I not have Guns as third bet? What was Guns' third bet?
Texas State.
Was that what it was?
Yeah, he was on Texas State.
Yes, it was. I need to write that down. I don't know why I didn't have that. So Guns had Rutgers. He had Illinois first half ATS, and then he had Texas State. Wine Time came in and unloaded a clip here. He's got the under in the Rutgers-Wisconsin game. He's got the under in the Illinois-Purdue game. He's got Iowa ATS. He's got USC ATS. He's got Colorado ATS and the under in that Colorado game. He's got Ohio State ATS, and he's got UCLA ATS. So shout out to our guy Wine Time. Marley Betts came on here rocking with us. Good to have Marley on here. Shout out Brothers and Betts. Make sure you follow them if you don't. Marley came on. He took the Sooners in the Red River rivalry. He took that plus 16. He took BYU first half and full game. And then he is also with Guns on the Illinois first half right there. So shout out to our dude Marley. And then we had Justin Stacks come in. So good to have him on camera with us. Even though he was in the hospital last night, he still made it to the show today. That's real shit right there. Alabama team total 35.5 over was Stacks' first play. He also has Nevada +3. He told us he liked LSU. Didn't make it official, but he told us he really liked LSU. And then another bet he didn't make official that he's got a lot of money on. He said race to 35 points in the Alabama game. I love it. A little bit of juice, so he didn't make it official, but that's Stacks for us today. Shout out to Strategic Investment. I write you guys down in the chat too when I see him. He is on Clemson -19.5, along with LSU +3.5. Shout out to our guy Gorgon dropping the donos early. He's got the Colorado money line, Washington money line, and then he's got a parlay BYU with Ohio State. And then we move on to our guy Kongs. Kongs came in and always unloaded a clip. He's got Army ATS. He's got Ole Miss ATS. He's got Illinois full game ATS. He's got Texas first quarter ATS, Texas first half ATS, and then Texas full game ATS. He did buy it down to 13.5, so it's a little juice there, but he still likes it. And then he's got Syracuse ATS. So those are all of his ATS plays. He dropped us 2 parlays here on the show. He has a 1-unit parlay. It's Army with Army ATS. It's Texas first quarter ATS, and it's Syracuse ATS. That's +595. His 2-unit parlay of the week, which he's still up over 40 units on this show alone. He's got Illinois alt line. He's got Ole Miss ATS. He's got Texas alt line. And that is +508 right there. My guy, Wager Detective. I told you I got you on the list today, Wager Detective. He is bullish. He's got LSU +3.5. I just said Kong's plays, and I almost left out his props. Let me hit Kong's props also. He's got Milroe longest pass. He's got Nico longest pass. He's got Will Howard longest pass. He's got Shador Sanders 3+ touchdowns for +120. And then he's got Trey Harris longest reception. So shout out to our guy Kongs. Those are his parlays or his props and parlays. Killed the props last week. Then Dutch came in and cleaned it up for us. He's got Virginia +7. He's got Iowa ATS, and he's got Colorado ATS. Shout out to my guy Tom in the chat, Tom Leach. He's got Virginia +7. He's also got, just Virginia +7. And then I got Tone, our Levels play of the day. Shout out to Level, my guy Tone Miggins, man. He's got Oregon money line +136. And then Dougie, I wrote you down also, man. Dougie's got Ohio State -3. And that caps that. I'll say my 3 one more time. I've got Ole Miss ATS. I've got USC first half ATS. And then I took the Judkins rushing prop, which I love. So those are my 3. Moose, you want to tell everybody your bets really quick, and then we'll wrap this up. And
yeah, some of these have already started since, we're already past the threshold, which, usually we don't ever do this, but because there's no live stream, we're able to kind of extend some things. And, I kind of talk a lot. So, Rutgers -2.5, Iowa -2.5, Eastern Michigan money line +115 for full game. Eastern Michigan money line first half +105. Virginia +7.5 with a little Virginia money line sprinkle. Cincinnati first half money line with first half Cincinnati +2.5 and first half Cincinnati team total over 13.5 at -110. BYU -2.5 -110. Ole Miss -2.5. Ohio State -3, and then Xavier Henderson receptions over 5.5. And I am also looking at Oregon State, Nevada over, and I'm also looking at Travis Hunter receiving props and Shedeur Sanders passing props.
Beautiful. What a clip we just unloaded on you guys. But that's what this show's about. So if you want to tell, you've got somebody or something to tell. If you just want information, you get a lot of that too. Moose, I'm trying to hit these questions. I would like to get our graphic and do a better job of this. It looks like Lex wanted to. Oh no, he said he's got UNC to win outright against Georgia Tech. Pipe said West Virginia game. Did you have any thoughts on the?
I put that in there. Iowa State. I definitely like Iowa State there, but it's always tough to go against West Virginia in Morgantown. So I would think my best bet there would probably be an Iowa State team total over. West Virginia has been very, very poor in preventing big plays, and Iowa State, surprisingly, with Beck back there, has been a very good deep threat team. So I would lean Iowa State there. But again, it's always tough to go to Morgantown and be successful. So I stayed off. But if I was going to do anything, it'd be on the Iowa State side.
I just now noticed that you're going through there and answering in the chat. That's perfect. That helps, especially on a day like today. Last time, guys, you have 2 chances to win $25. Do not put it in the live comment section that we're reading right now, because that does not count. I don't give a shit if you get the score right. If you want a chance to win the $25, when I hit the end button on this show, go below and leave a comment on it. Guess the score of the Texas-Oklahoma game and guess the score of the Oregon-Ohio State game. The 2 people that get the closest, or the 1 person that gets them both, I will send $25 to. I wanted to show some appreciation. You guys getting us up to 250 people is badass. Now I want to hit 300. Next week we hit 300. Moose, dude, I love doing this with you, man. Thank you. There's a reason why you're the first person I come to when I get an opportunity to do a show. Any last words for the chat before we wrap this up and, fuck off?
Yeah, if you're checking out the Moose dive, there was basically no dive. I did 1 game, and it was a game that happened on Thursday with the James Madison, which I did not really go according to plan. So I will be back in there. Obviously, my time is going to be a lot more available without my my Padres in the playoffs anymore. So I will be able to get to the Moose dives. If you are interested in that, please send me a DM on Twitter at Moose Money Bets, and I will add you into the link. Stacks, if you're still out there, Cab said he would send me your email. I thought I added you, but if I didn't, I apologize. And for anybody else, if you need to add on, or if you want to add on, just send me a DM, and I'll make sure I add you as quickly as I possibly can.
Beautiful. Nunya, Mal, Justin, Able A, Oldie, Voodoo Ranger, Cap'n Cards, Lexicon, all my people in the chat. We love you guys. I love doing this with you guys. I got family shit that I'm taking care of today, so I'm sorry there's not a live stream. It's just a one-time thing. And honestly, Alabama, South Carolina, 20-point spread anyways. We will be back next week with the live streams. We'll be rocking and rolling. Thank you guys. I love doing this with y'all. Leave the comments. Get in there. Get a chance to win some money. Let's get fucking paid today. Moose, we're out.